Welcome everybody into some AEL Marble Rivals here. It's Matsy and TwoTapTony. You've seen us before, you're going to see us again. And you know what else you're going to see again? Our sponsors! So, without further ado, big shout out to AGON by AOC, the #1 gaming monitor brand in the world! AGON by AOC provide best-in-class monitor solutions for gaming and all other needs.
And of course, power your game with the latest HyperX gear at Officeworks. When you need speed, control, and zero distractions, Officeworks has the tech. Discover gaming gear made to handle serious play.
That's it. We love to see it. And if you want to see exactly what that looks like, everybody, it's right here. Take a look at that.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Take a look at that. That is beautiful. You know what else is beautiful, Tony? Our other sponsor, Indomie, the noodle partner, made with high-quality flour and selected ingredients and spices. A plate of Indomie mee goreng will certainly brighten up your day. Try any one of the flavors available today from your local grocer or at indomie.com.au.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, our sponsors couldn't be possible without them, Matt. And yeah, we've had some interesting things come through, of course, you know, recent updates to Marvel Rivals overall. Daredevil's now in the mix here for the Open Series playoffs, and it should be a very fun thing to get our hands on and have a look at how it plays.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Tony. You know, I'm very excited to see how our teams play out here tonight. I think we've seen some of them before, and we're going to see some of them again here tonight, and very excited for what they're going to be able to achieve. You know, I think there's definitely some great teams ahead, you know. But first and foremost, BkWhatOCE taking on Monash Magicians. It's going to be a magical game there for third place decider. We'll see who's playing strange, and let's take a look at how things go right now. We got BkWhatOCE, Monash rosters. You've seen them before. It's Tashi, 250R, Bot Frag, A Dumb Chicken, Accelerate, Deluwu, and Crescent here for BkWhatOCE. For Monash, it's going to be Tomo, Desg, Kero, Hayron, Blank, and Seru.
Yeah, some exciting rosters. We've seen what BkWhatOCE are capable of. Of course, you know, we speak volumes about Accelerate. We speak volumes as well of Tashi. You know, can be a very flexible player on the duelist role. You know, we've seen the ton of things from Tashi throughout the Elite Series, and now, of course, over to the Open Series. And I want to take on Monash. I was going to say, we're not too familiar with this Monash roster, but, you know, Monash as a club has been pretty solid throughout the Elite Series, so I imagine the Open team's pretty good as well, Matt.
Oh, yeah. I have no doubts in my mind, Tony, about their skills, their capabilities, and I'm keen to see what they can do here tonight. You know, I think we've got a bunch of games on the way here, and it's going to get even greater once we get into the mix. You know, I'm eager to see if they're going to bring out the Daredevil. I think that's going to be exciting. But you know what else is exciting? The fact that Monash was able to beat a Swinburne in order to get this spot into the third place matchup. So, you know, they fought hard in order to claim this opportunity here, and very eager to see what they can do with it.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. You know, beating Swinburne, who I said throughout the season, Matt, very capable team throughout that Elite Series. You know, I was like, oh, you just need a few more things to go right for them. They probably could have put some wins on the board. But yeah, Monash taking them out here, and moving on through to this third place decider is an interesting one. But yeah, as we said, BkWhatOCE, a pretty capable opponent to contend with Monash this evening. As I said, you know, Accelerate, Tashi, but as well, they're strategist players. Deluwu, Crescent have been quite convincing there on, you know, in the heal department. I was going to say Crescent really likes to bring out the Loki, so maybe we see some target bans. We've seen a lot of strategist target bans as of late, you know, throughout our various competitions, throughout the various competitive leagues that are happening. You know, a lot of focus is on the strategists, and for BkWhatOCE, I feel like they're one of those teams that probably wants to put high prior towards some of those picks.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, even for a second here. You know, jumping in to Season 4.5, Tony. been a ton of changes, and I'm very excited to see them all showcased here tonight. I'm excited to see exactly what these teams are going to be able to do, whether we see Daredevil out tonight, whether we see Namor and Hela. Get that team up out, Tony. You know, get the undead squids out. That's going to be crazy if that actually comes out here tonight. But yeah, I'm just excited for all the possibilities, Tony. You know?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, you know, as we've seen a recent change in the in terms of the patches, right? And as you said, some different team ups that could be really brought to play, and as well some team ups that were, I guess, very necessary in like kind of toning down a little bit. You know, that normal Hulk team up was so strong for so very long, and you know, finally we won't have to, I guess, witness all too much of that. But still, I feel like Namor's in a pretty good place at the moment. You know, it's still that anti-flyer kind of turret setup that you can kind of play towards the backline, a very backline duelist, if you will. But yeah, I was going to say a lot of other team ups that are at play, especially the Daredevil ones. An interesting one as well tonight.
Yeah, you know, obviously playing into the team up there, they're able to make the most out of it with the Punisher. You know, it's really great to see, I guess, the potential coming through with that. You know, the blind verdict, it's going to be really great. The fact that Punisher's able to take advantage of that, create that blinding effect there alongside their little smoke screen there. So great to see that yeah, there's good little bits and pieces that can come through from that, Tony. But obviously we got more on the horizon where that came from. You know, I think there's going to be good times ahead here, and I'm excited to see if they're going to let the devil out. But looks like we're going to let the map in.
Yeah, let the map in. Of course, Domination to kick it off on Krakoa should be a fun one, Matt. I was going to say a very interesting one in terms of, I guess, getting this best of 5 off. As we said, you know, the way the vetoes work, the way the maps are picked, Domination always starting it off here in a best of 5 scenario is, you know, I speak about confidence is probably what these teams are after, especially in the open series, right, where you know, these teams probably don't have all too much reps against each other. You know, Macquarie, they've been playing Elite Series teams the whole season. I imagine they've gotten an odd scrim here or there against some of the Open Series teams. But, you know, Monash are coming into this one as the underdogs, but as well as the unknown to, you know, what strategies they could bring to play here on the Domination map.
Yeah, I'm eager to see, I guess, how they want to change things up, how they want to play it out here. Obviously, as you said, there's not too many reps against each other. You know, teams playing across seasons there. It's going to be interesting to see how they approach this one. But obviously, you know, you can get a good gauge for exactly how each team is going to be able to activate once we do get into the mix. You know, I think within the first, I'd say, minute or so, they can get at least a little feel for what's coming out. And it's like we're going to be possibly letting the devil out into the abandoned save phase here. As they are going to get their first couple of bands through right now, and see what they will be.
Yeah, curious to, I guess, really break down Monash as a team, right? We get to witness what they prioritize and what they're after, and it's taking away immediately the Star-Lord from Tashi. I kind of respect that one, you know, that's just a respectable ban overall, just from the knowledge that we've seen out of the side of Macquarie, right? They're taking away the Mantis, maybe a little bit of insight to what Monash like to play. Mantis has been a prominent strategist as of late, but the Hela lock-in to start it off here for Monash is very interesting, though.
Yeah, it looks like we are seeing the return of the Goddess of Death into this one, so very excited to see how that all plays out. But we are going to see the ban come out onto the Namor there, so clearly the team up, which I just alluded to earlier, must be powerful. Must be very powerful, Tony. So, yeah, I would not doubt that the next bound coming out from Macquarie is probably going to be, yeah, there you go. So, ban is going to be no more from Monash there. So, it's just banned out on both sides. And they're going to not be able to activate into that. But they do have Hela available, so I guess that's at least one net positive for them. But let's see what the next set of bans look like and see if it swings towards that strategist focus.
Yeah, that's, I was going to say, interesting, right? You know, having Hela be locked in for both sides, but Namor being taken away. We see a Venom taken away from Macquarie. I was going to say, we got to speak about Venom a little bit more, you know, last patch before all these drastic changes came. Venom was a very strong one. Venom Jeff, there was a really good team up as well with the Hella. Luna Snow being taken out of the picture. Invisible Woman being locked in here by Macquarie is a respectable one. I was gonna say, you know, Invisible Woman's very good at kind of stabilizing a fight with that ultimate and keeping everybody healthy and up and ready to win the fight out there. Rocket Band is an interesting one. Monash kind of surprising me a little bit here.
Yeah, you and me both, Tone. They're definitely full of surprises, but I guess they don't want to deal with the enhanced Sia. Because if you don't know, Sia actually has changed its amplification now from 50% all the way up to 70%, Tony. So,
wow.
Yeah, just think about that for a moment.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty insane, but speaking of insane, we are seeing some mobile duelists coming online here. Tashi and Accelerate jumping straight into Psylocke and the Devil there. So, see if they are going to find a bit more through into this one. Spider-Man. Nah, no way. No way. So, seeing the stock standard Vanguards there, going to see a decent amount of, yeah, nice spread between the duelists as well, but curious to see how the Hella plays out for Monash here, you know, whether they are able to gain a bit from it, but also one in the same. Curious to see how the Devil plays out here. I love the mobility, I'd say, of the Macquarie composition right now, right, where they've got the two very mobile duelists, they can play around Bruce pretty well, Cloak and Dagger, or like even Cap. It's just a very high speed composition, I'd say. The slowest of the bunch, obviously, would be Invisible Woman here. Not sure what bot frag's going to lock in, but most likely maybe a shield Vanguard out of this one.
Maybe a mag.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, most surely a mag. I was going to say, bot frag played mag a ton throughout the Elite Series, and it was a very impressive pick from him. I was going to say a lot of multi-KOs that came off of that Meteor. Bot frag was, I believe, you know, one of the more impressive Magnetos that we saw in Elite Series, and now to open, get to show it off here against Monash, but of course they're bringing to table as well the Magneto as well, the Emma Cross. So I was going to say a little bit more of a front-ended kind of composition here out of Monash, as we're already seeing quick KO there on the Tashi, catching in the back slam, the choke on to a dumb chicken too, but they're going to have to fall back, taken out by Seru. Some early KOs here for Monash.
Yeah, nice start coming out from Monash into this one. They are able to bump up the damage volumes and they are getting it over the line. So Hayren and Blank there doing a lot of great work, and they are going to be able to take that initial percentage onto the mission area here. We'll see if they are going to be able to find a more from there, as they're taking a very frontward presence here. You know, they're straight out through the little archway there, just keeping the momentum in their favor, but they are going to have to deal with some issues in front of them right now. Accelerate, too little too late, does get shut out the gate, and this forces Macquarie already into a bit of a reset here. Like, they aren't really able to gain too much movement forward.
Yeah, that was a great KO there to find early on, taking out Accelerate, and well, the Daredevil doesn't feel like it's quite having its impact yet here for the side of Macquarie. Still trying to walk it up. Visible boundary coming out here from Crescent, keeping everybody up for the moment. Trying to soften up these KOs, but invisible boundary back from Monash is great. Magneto Meteor M coming out here from Kero, looking for the dunk onto Delulu, will be able to find it. Dumb Chicken though has found its link on the backside of things. KO's going both ways, and we'll see. It's the Butterfly come out here from DesG, trying to get this strategist in the backline, but Tashi there able to appeal for their strategist, and Macquarie will be able to walk away with the cap.
Nicely done for Macquarie there. They do manage to strike back when the time was right, and they are going to be able to get back on top of this one, but see how long they can hold on here, because there's a few ults coming online right now. Monash can certainly look to fight back, and nice objection coming through from Accelerate there, just trying to counter out some of the abilities. Speaking of, it's going to be Goddess of Death online right now, Psionic Seduction as well, and Tony, one crucial thing I'm noticing is the HUD for the ultimate activation has changed in this patch too.
Yeah, it looks a lot different. I was going to say a little bit more flavorful, looking at some of these ultimates that are coming out here. We'll see Macquarie stagger out these KOs and are playing very aggressive with the space. I was gonna say the Goddess of Death nor the Psionic Seduction really didn't find their info there. Tashi's just kind of sitting away.
Swinging away.
Swinging away. We'll be able to take the teleport out as well. And, well, Macquarie will be able to get themselves up to 60% for the moment. They do have a few ultimates online as well to play with.
Yeah, they got a few tools in their kit there, but they do have to make sure they keep themselves up. Speaking of, Tashi, nice damage around the back there, flanking through with the KOs. Fate of Both Worlds is coming up in time mode right now. I'm going to see the Eternal Bond online. Ooh, Meteor. Going to get the boob. They won't be able to scoop anyone up, but Accelerate does, and it's going to be furthered even more. They're picking up KOs for days here, Macquarie. And this is a perfect time for it too. I'd expect a Strange Portal could be around the corner. I can see Change Up as well. Looking to jump on the Winter Soldier there. So, see if they can bolt the past, but timing not going to be so good. The Dance of the Butterfly is going to be there. They don't care. They're just going to portal in. Dance, don't matter. They're contesting.
Yeah, contesting the point. Visible boundary goes up. Meteor doesn't quite hit its mark. Boundary for both sides here as Monash stay healthy. And we'll see Kraken impact out of DesG. Looking for the resets now. Looking for something more. Presently has been tagged up, marked up, and taken. KO there. The double from DesG. And Monash will be able to teleport back to the point. And they will be able to cap it as well. Macquarie, I feel like just an unfortunate timing there on the Dance of the Butterfly from Tashi.
Yeah, I feel like they were hoping for a bit more from it than what happened there. You know, it didn't go the way that they would have planned there, and it's gonna hurt. But at least now Accelerate is already starting to bounce back here. They picked up the opening KO. They're looking for a few more. It's working wonderfully thus far. Look at this quad KO. Accelerate on for the Penta. Oh my goodness! They let the devil out, and the devil sent them straight to hell.
And a Hexa to close it. Accelerate. Showing us what the Daredevil's capable of when you let that devil out. Macquarie will capture the Grove there, Matt. A beautiful take there to close that one out, because Monash, just when you thought, you know, they were losing that one, they were able to portal back, they were able to stabilize, but great answer from Macquarie. Accelerate showing that, you know, the hours are already being put in here to make this Daredevil pick work in some of these compositions. And I was going to say, it feels very like Bash Brother-esque, him and a dumb chicken kind of just running down that back line. And it's really hard for Monash to peel, right? You've got the Magneto, but you might need a little bit more. I was going to say, we'll now see the Thing pick here for X-Blank. We'll see Pymo back as well, of course, onto the Luna, but yeah, we might need to see a little bit more backline composition. Maybe a Loki in there might help Monash out here, because Accelerate and Dumb Chicken just kind of running that backline.
Yeah, you'd think that, right? But I feel like a lot of strategist players now are shying away from the Loki pick now more than ever. And it's crazy to see, you know, comparable to the times of old when Loki was just such a staple strategist pick into the mix there, but obviously not going to get its time into the sun today. And see how things play out, because here's the Thing. The Thing is looking to shut them down right now. I feel like they've picked up the Thing to try and, I guess, counter out the Daredevil here, you know? Just try and see if they can destabilize it a little bit there. But speaking of destabilizing, they are going to have to deal with the Dumb Chicken as well. Dance of the Butterfly from Haver in there, and they have found Delulu. So, nice start coming through from Monash here, looking for bot frag as well. Present in a lot of trouble. Needs to fall back. Dumb Chicken as well. It will be fallen. So, going to have to regroup, retreat here, and see if they can fight on later, as Monash have picked up the early percentage.
That was a great fight there from Monash, just kind of playing for control of the point, more so, you know, we normally see teams fight in the corridor there over towards the stairs. But, you know, Monash are like, let's just walk straight to the point. We've got the Thing, we've got the Invisible Woman ultimate as well here. We're going to see Invisible Boundary. We'll see Magneto, Meteor M come back from bot frag. No slam onto the strategist this time around. It's going to be Tashi picking up a quick one there onto DesG up on the high ground. We'll see Meteor M back in return, but it doesn't quite hit its mark. Bot frag stunned up for the moment, but everybody's staying healthy in this boundary. And Monash are now the ones bleeding of HP. They are falling left, right, and center. Accelerate with a quick KO. Does have the Devil ultimate to pop here if they want to use it, but he's just finding those KOs. It's another double from Accelerate, and it's point cap here by Macquarie.
Nicely done for Macquarie to bring it back when they did there. You know, Monash, they built it up to 50, but doesn't matter. Macquarie are now going to be on deck, and they got the Freedom Charge pretty much available. There you go as well. So, Monash, they've got some tools at their disposal as well. There's certainly ways for them to push and prod at the mission area here, and all that time could be now, but see how things go. They are trying to crash into the back line there, but already nicely done. It's going to be Dance of the Butterfly straight onto the mission area, and they are unraveling the hold from Macquarie piece by piece here. Amazing work.
Yeah, just one good ultimate pop there from Monash. They're able to capture the point back here, Macquarie. Unfortunately, sent reeling once again, but I was going to say, this is, I guess, what their composition really it says, right? I was going to say it's a lot of dive heavy, a lot of heavy presence here. We'll see the Freedom Charge. We'll let the Devil out once again. Accelerate on towards the point, looking for a KO, but shut down this time by Tymo. They still have the Freedom Charge out from a dumb chicken. We'll see Dance of the Butterfly too. Double KO there, making a triple from Tashi. Going up in air for the Kraken impact there from DesG. They're looking for a few more KOs. They're so softened up. They're looking for the quad, the Pensa, make it the Hexa. Tashi going crazy here on the Psylocke.
And that's exactly what they needed. Right place, right time, and they are going to be primed up and good to go. So, good stuff coming out from Macquarie here. Tashi playing sneaky, hiding around the corners right now. Waiting to see when their time to strike will come. And Dumb Chicken not going to be able to get the strike through where they want it. We are going to be seeing already Eternal Bond, Video M. They got the boundary up as well, but it does not come down. Well, the freeze comes out. It's going to be good to deal with them. Fate of both worlds still online here for Tymo. And keep their team as close as possible here, but there's still more time, and now they've found the KO.
Now found the KO. DesG found Pot Frag. Accelerate sent packing for the moment. X-Blake as well with Hayron. They all stagger out these KOs. They're trying to find Dumb Chicken. He's just stalling for the percentage build here. Macquarie, they'll get to 89. But Monash now, they'll start to build percentage to almost the closure here. We do still have the Eye of Agamotto as well available here for Kero. Delulu has swapped over to the Strange themselves. No ultimates here for Macquarie. They're just going to have to play for these straight KOs. Accelerate straight into the mix here. Taken low on HP, but fighting for it right now. A Dumb Chicken trying to run Taimu down in the backline. We'll see Dance of the Butterfly, and we'll see Kraken Impact. Nothing really hit its mark here. All the side of Monash, those ultimates came through, but they're all going the way of Macquarie right now. Those KOs are getting staggered out. Overtime will tick. Macquarie will be able to win out the fight there. It's a triple from Accelerate.
Amazing work coming through from Accelerate and go there. So, they are rushing it down all the way to the opposing portal trying to come out, but it's not coming up in time. It is going to be done and dusted here on map 1. Macquarie claim victory on domination in the Grove, the Carousel. There's no room for the Cradle, as they're going to be rocking away with a first map victory here, Tony. So solid stuff coming out from Macquarie. And who's the MVP? Is Tashi on the Psylocke. So nicely done from Tashi there, getting the MVP, but, you know, I'd say a close second for the Macquarie roster would be Accelerate. I definitely feel like they had a lot of solid impacts as well, and the final hits are a testament to that. Although they didn't match in the KO department there, the final hits is where they came close.
Yeah, absolutely. Accelerate, I guess, you know, having a little bit of a quiet show off there of the Daredevil. We got to see a little bit of the ultimate, but Tashi, that one Dance of the Butterfly, that Hexa was absolutely insane there to win that point out for Macquarie. Just when you thought, oh, Monash have got a little bit of fight to them. They got a little bit of something special there, but Macquarie are able to bounce back. Monash, you know, a deserved SVP there for Taimu. You know, playing that one super, super well. I was going to say some of those Fate of Both Worlds were crucial in winning out those fights for Monash as well. Some of the KOs that Taimu was able to find as well onto Accelerate kind of really shut down the fight in some of those instances for Macquarie to really take the point back. But yeah, well, we get to see some Daredevil, Matt, and it was interesting. I was going to say, I feel like we haven't seen the full extent just yet, but we got a little bit of a teaser.
Yeah, we had a little taste of, I guess, what it's capable of, and so far, so good. You know, they were really able to support their team quite well, I'd say. Keen to see more from it. I feel like, you know, as expected, the kit is somewhat similar to like the Iron Fist playstyle there with your melee duelists, you know. Just able to really give it your best in an upfront and personal way there. So curious to see what else they are going to be able to do, whether they continue to play into the Daredevil pick into the upcoming maps as well, you know, heading into the rest of this endeavor, or whether it's just a one and done type thing, Tone. You don't know till you know. But what we do know is that both teams have now got a taste of what's to come out of this series, and I think Monash, you know, they're going to need to change something up.
Yeah, definitely going to have to maybe change up the priority in what they want to take away. I was going to say, given the fact that Macquarie, they showed a lot of flexibility, right? We saw Delu over towards the Strange just to portal them back to point. But yeah, Dumb Chickens Captain America is always a small note to make with how decent it feels. I was going to say it feels great when it's on your side, but when you're Monash's backline, it's rough, right? You know, you've got a Captain America running you down. Taimo, I felt like probably was hard to position in some of those engagements because you've just got Dumb Chicken running all over him. Accelerate as well, when the moment presented itself, was on top of that backline as well. So yeah, I feel like there's going to be probably a lot more prioritization towards the strategists here, because I feel like there was a little bit of a mismatch in terms of what was picked there by Monash in that.
Yeah, I'd agree with you as well, Tone. You know, I think there was a bit of a mismatch there, and curious to see how the next ban save phase does kind of evolve, you know, as we are going to be jumping in to the time stream very soon. You know, we're going to be getting into our next map ahead of us, Tony, and get excited. You know, we got a little bit of convoy into the mix here. Isn't that exciting? Nah, we are going to be jumping in to none other than Arako. So, where do you want to go? It's over to Arako, and we are going to be into the ban and save phase right now.
Yeah, ban and save for both sides, and what are we thinking, Matt? Right, Monash. There's a lot we saw. I was going to say they put Prior on towards the Star-Lord there, but Tashi, you know, as we said, a guy that can pretty much play a lot of the rostered characters. It is going to be the Psylocke taken away, so yeah, Monash don't want to have to deal with that one this time around. We'll see Lunar Snow taken away by the Macquarie side. They're going to be locking in Daredevil once again, so they're giving Accelerate another spin for this one.
Yeah, looking to give another spin into that one. Curious to see the hover there coming out from Tashi, you know, hovering over the Angela. I feel like there is some potential, especially on this map, for Angela to work out really well. You know, you can really get up in their face. Maybe get some environmental KOs if you can just deliver the package off of the map, so to speak. Package being your enemy. But nah, eager to see what the next save is going to be. Hella is going to be locked back for the Monash side this time, so you'd expect in reaction that they would be banning out. No, not no more. Okay, but it makes sense because they've got time, so they can ban out the priority strategist there, and maybe leave a little bit of room for something more.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things that can be thought about here. But the Helllock's good. Bans here being thought about. Almost down to the wire, I was going to say, really thinking about those ones. Again, Star-Lord taken away. Unfortunate there for Tashi, but Namor as well going to be taken away for Macquarie. So again, you know, they get that Hella lock, but how much Ryo is towards, you know, getting the other one online, the other part of the team up, because Namor's taken away, so you feel like Hella just kind of becomes a useless save there for the side of Monash.
Yeah, because having the team ups capability is going to count it out. You know that they aren't really able to, I guess, jump into its capabilities as much as they would kind of hope for there. But speaking of capabilities, they've taken away 3 key strategists from the MkWhatOCE side there. That's a pretty big deal. Like, all they have access to is Invisible Woman, really. So curious to see what they can pair that with, you know, considering they've lost Mantis, they've lost Luna, lost Cloak. But that's a pretty big ban as well, taking away the Magneto. I mean, that is one of the typically more higher focused vanguards, but there's ways around it, right? You know, they can still play into Emma Frost. They've got the objective over to playing into the Angela pick there, so there's a lot of ways they can do this. What I like to see coming out from X Blank, though, is the fact that they're playing into the Penny Parker. I think that's going to be pretty key here, especially with a dumb chicken hovering over the Black Panther. I don't know if they'll actually play that, but if they do, having the webs from Penny is just going to be so beneficial for the MkWhatOCE side there.
Yeah, it's I was gonna say very good at counteracting the dive, as you expect. Chicken will probably want to get off of Black Panther once he knows that Penny and that rocket are coming into fruition here, because of course you get the team up, you get the double nests here. I was gonna say you can place one down in a nice little choke here, set some mines up, and interesting little composition out of Macquarie here. We've gone for the Jeff Venom, and as well Delu we're gonna be rocking with the rocket Tashi on towards the Angela of all things. So a little bit more dive centric, and you know, probably putting all their eggs in this basket, just trying to get out a high prio target and snipe them out quickly for a KO.
Yeah, I would expect nothing less here, Tone, and so if they are going to be able to zone them out effectively into this one as Accelerate in the front line there, be able to hold on for long, but you know, they're doing their job and they're doing it well. They're being annoying, they're putting down their enemies, trying to force them as far back as they can here, but see if they are going to be able to hold on, because now Accelerate has gone down. Decent way to open the account there. AO through, and see if they can get more. Dead G good on it with the Star-Lord there, and still looking to wreak havoc towards these players here, but no further KOs have reached the floor yet, and you see the Battle Recon Beacon already coming to fruition there. Tymo going to be good with that one, bring their Penny Parker back.
Oh, that was almost a catch there from Tashi, unable to get back up there. X-Blank. That's what Tashi, I guess, is really all about right now, is playing that disrupt, playing that upset, try and get the quick KO into the likes of MkWhatOCE there. We'll be able to find one. We'll see Jeff Time come out, swallow up 3 enemies, and we'll spit out Hot Frag in the process. And that will be Macquarie taking the fight off with just one ultimate there. Tashi, once again, still in this backline, being an absolute menace here. Tymo, though, is able to run around with the rocket, able to run up those walls, and stay healthy for the moment. Does pop down the beacon as well, but will be able to be found by Tashi. That KO comes through. And now Macquarie not able to push here.
Pushing it up, pushing it down, and they are going to be able to get many more KOs here. Accelerate already and doubling down and looking for 3. Might just be able to get it, Tony. No, Crescent going to be able to. Galactic Legend trying to counter out, has found a KO, but they're going to be countered by a dumb chicken. So nice stuff coming out from them, taking advantage of their teammates' capabilities there. Obviously, the Seer was online, but now it wants to go. And speaking of going, Aaron is going to go after activating the Goddess of Death there, not finding too much from it. Now, you see Macquarie looking to claw ahead with more territory towards the mission vehicle here. And they've got a decent bit of pace on this one, and we'll see if they are going to do more, because the boundary's up and Tashi's down.
Yeah, but here comes Accelerate. Double time, it would seem, doesn't quite hit its mark. Beast of the Abyss as well. There from Botfrag, doesn't quite find anything as well. Next Blake just covering this place with mines right now, with webs, with everything here. Macquarie, they can't seem to walk up. They're sent packing for the moment with those KOs that were found. Iron now looking towards the higher ground here. Trying to control it away from Macquarie, but they're still running around here. I was going to say the hyper mobility with this composition. Accelerate already able to find Hiren, looking for a little bit more in this backline. Swinging away with the bats here, but it is going to be a dump chicken for one. Series once again online here for Tymo. That dishes out the damage a little bit higher. Jeff time comes through. Presently swallowed up to once again, and it's both strategists here from the side of Monash, and they will be taken backline here and maybe looking to be taken out here by the likes of Macquarie.
Uh-oh, this could be dangerous, and let's just see how dangerous it's going to get as we head towards the end segment of this second checkpoint here. Favorite trying to retreat back there, see if they can play around their teammates. They got X-Blank bringing out the Thor right now, so we could find something. Well, you know what it's going to bring? Them into the back line. Goodbye, X-Blank, and goodbye to Zero as well. And let's see what else are going to be able to get through on this one. They've found Gero now, so this is stuff coming out there. They are going to be brought back by the Battle Recon Beacon, however, but Accelerate is on a bit of a rip and tear right now and is pumping up those damage numbers, and they're so close to letting the Devil out as well. We could see that one come out sooner rather than later. They play their cards right, but they might not even need to let the Devil out. They're just getting attack after attack right now, stacking up the damage. That's going to be all.
Yeah, and I was going to say, we spoke about how, unsafe it is to be Monash's backline right now. And this comp just gets a little bit more echoey of the statement, right? You can see just how deep they are as we'll let the Devil out. Accelerate now on towards the backline, looking for a quick KO here on towards the Invisible Woman. Will be able to find Tymo in the process. First strategist down. Psionic Seduction doesn't do all too much either. Angela floating around for the moment. Darcy just needs to get a heal on. As Deschi and the rest of Monash are now once again under fire here. We'll see X-Plate try to swing those hammers, try to do something back here. Loki trying to keep everybody healthy as Tymo comes out of spawn. And Macquarie, they are continuing to push here and they are able to stay healthy. We get a nice stun there out of X-Plate though.
Yeah, decent stun, decent depth time as well. Picking up a couple enemies there. Galactic Legend coming out. They're just going to throw their enemies far, far away. So, not bad, you know. They can distance them from their team, and already they're spreading out the KOs. So, it's just creating a smoother path for themselves here. And there's that Loki you were talking about, Tone. You know, they try to activate God of Mischief. It gets taken out. That is insane. Goddess of Death not getting much of anything as well. They've been barricaded away. 0.53 meters left on the mission vehicle here, and they are stealing away KO after KO here, but there's still so much more work to be done. They're still holding strong onto the mission vehicle. Somebody has got to crack here. Somebody has got to go down before they can push. There it is.
Yeah, there it is. So much upfront damage there from Macquarie. We'll be able to cap it. All three captures there. And, of course, time left on the clock, 1:40. Not as, I was going to say dominant as probably Macquarie would have liked, but I was going to say Monash in, some of the later stages of those fights were able to slow it down a little bit. Now, we'll see some different things thought about. I believe Presently was thinking about the Ultron there for a second, but going to be staying on the Jeff. Bot frag going to be going over to the Penny. And, well, for the side of Monash, they're going to try and echo, I guess, what Macquarie were going for with their dive composition with Venom and Psylocke. That it feels like Macquarie's composition was just that little bit more upfront and in your face. And I was going to say, to credit Tashi as well, being a nuisance on this Angela. We see teams kind of crumble a little bit, at least like when Angela was first initially brought into the table. I guess it's to credit there's a little bit more practice now, but Angela's kind of one of those characters that's now a little bit more of a menace. It's hard to catch some of these guys off guard that are rocking with Angela, so Monash, they're going to have to be on guard for that one. Don't want to be kidnapped early in the piece here. Kara going to be going over towards the Captain America of all things. And now, 4 minutes here. 3 points to push for Monash, and Macquarie, they're going to be sitting pretty set up perfectly here with Penny traps and the mines as well.
Yeah, going to be setting everything up into motion here, Tone. And eager to see exactly how things are going to go, as they already start strong. The Seru's down. We'll see if they are. Oh, yeah, they are. They're going to be able to get more and more. It's KO City on this one, Tony. So, really decent start coming out from the defensive side here. They are trying to glide across with a Venom. I respect that coming out from Kero there, but they aren't able to really break through here. You know, they're getting KOs in opposition, Monash, but it's not enough to really establish enough pressure onto the mission vehicle yet.
Yeah, not a lot is, like, the mission vehicle not getting pushed a whole lot for the moment, but I was going to say the one small thing I wanted to note was the thing adjustment here from the likes of Monash. I was going to say it kind of answers the Daredevil pick a little bit, because, you know, Daredevil's one of those guys that wants to be up in your face, and I was going to say, you know, who wants to be up in the face as well. The thing is going to be a big swallow here from Timer, as they'll take out bot frag. Everybody else is able to get away for safety here, so Monash not really able to win that fight out. We'll still see Accelerate on this backline on the Invisible Woman. And it sucks to play a strategist right now against Accelerate. He's all foot on the gas here, but Monash will be able to win out the fight for the moment. They'll stabilize, and Macquarie, they're going to have to walk away for this one.
Walk away and live to fight another day. But speaking of, you can see Butterfly break in a minute. There we go. Dance to the Butterfly coming out. Jeff time from Crescent, but it's Haven doubling down on the KOs here. They found Crescent as well. Triple KO and looking for more. Accelerate in a bit of trouble. Does manage to get away from it though, so not too shabby. Not too shabby at all, but they are not going to be able to push it over just yet. Uh-oh, getting a little too close to the sun. Again, it's going to be Accelerate taken out of this one. Unfortunate timing for their team, but Accelerate's back, and now everybody's back. Evans Retribution coming down from Tashi. They are looking to clash across this one with their enemies. Let's see if they can zone someone out, as Des G going to be the one to open the account, but it's going to be Seru found there. Kero trying to hunt down the Jeff. Fast Descent coming out and taken down. Nicely done by Des G again, but finally now going to be counted through. Hayron though, focused up, trying to shut down the strategist. Somebody's gotta, but it's not gonna happen. Accelerate, focused up, pushing in. Bot frag with a Maelstrom as well. Damage is just pushing over the top of this one, Tony. And they will finally find some peace. They can push the mission vehicle now. To fight another day. Push it back.
He's able to breathe. They even snipe on towards the Venom from Crescently. They will find Dumb Chicken early to start this one off. Timer looking for a crucial Jeff time here, and it's not going to quite hit its mark. And now Taimu, a little bit of a vulnerable character there, a vulnerable hero. After the fact that you pop that ultimate, you're in a little bit of a realm of hurt. Tashi now trying to find Kero here. No, you gotta stagger it out. Smart call to make for Macquarie. 30 seconds left here for Monash. Iron will be taken out too, so no Dance of the Butterfly here to go crazy. In 20 seconds, Monash need to scramble towards that mission vehicle.
Yeah, they need to get there as soon as they possibly can, because otherwise time's going to run out. Like, they've got 10 seconds to go right now. They need to break in. Clobbering time coming through. X-Blank barely surviving there. Saw how low their health got, but they will be able to break it in. Jeff Diver coming out as well. They've got allies, they've got enemies. It don't matter, they got everybody. They are going to be able to take out too, so not too shabby at all coming out from both sides here. 2 players remain for Monash right now. It's down to X-Blank to hold on tight to the mission vehicle. They found Accelerate. They're trying to gather more. Tashi is just being so sneaky in the skies. And we need to see if they can keep their eyes on the prize, which is a KO. But the Luwu is bringing it back right now with the portal. Kero as well.
Yeah, they're still on this mission vehicle, and they're still pushing. Des G will find bot frag, so overtime will tick and time will continue. 2 minutes 30 here with the KOs from X-Blank to hold that one down. And now we'll see Macquarie have to go back to the drawing board here. They put everything towards trying to stop that capture from coming through, and Tashi, a Dumb Chicken, they weren't quite able to find anything. Hired already finding that KO on the Dumb Chicken. This push continues for Monash. 2 minutes as they round the corner here. Tashi's still in their face, still throwing spears, throwing haymakers.
a few more where that came from, Tony. They're trying to go for KO City onto this one. Accelerate. Yeah, a little too close to the city, I'd say. Going to be a permanent resident. Well, not for long, as they will be brought back by the Battle Recon Beacon there. But Kero not going to be in the same boat. SG one in the same, and now feeling the pain. So, Quarry back in the driver's seat here, looking to drive this one through. Drive it steady and ball through. And they will succeed for now. But still got plenty of time they need to stall out. Yeah, Macquarie. See if they are going to be able to do it.
This is an interesting hold here from Macquarie. You can see how split they're playing, right? Nobody's really getting funneled into anything. Accelerate, already finding a quick KO there. Onto Pirate. We'll be looking for a little bit more. Jeff time coming out here to time it. Able to swallow up two of the Vanguards, but still dumb chicken. Playing around that mission vehicle for the moment. Freedom charge will come out. Angela will charge immediately back towards that mission vehicle. Presently not able to find anything with the Jeff time. We'll see Heaven's Retribution come out here to try and lock these players up. In the meantime, Hiron on the back line of all places. On towards the strategist. Now everybody falls here from the likes of Macquarie. Just a cracking impact for good measure. A double from DesG. 30 seconds. Monash continue this push.
Yeah, continue the push, continue to hold strong here, and they're getting closer and closer to the line, but ooh, big pickup around the side. They almost managed to catch them, but it's not going to happen this time as Monash turn the tides on this one. They've already found a couple of KOs. Akamoto coming out from bot frag. They've turned the tides themselves. Maelstrom finds two, looking for more around the corner. They've got the whip out, and they are getting damaged for days, Tony.
Now they're getting in all the damage here, but still it's X-Blank, the ironclad wall that you have to break right now. They'll let the devil out, accelerate. We'll let that one fly. Overtime will tick as we try to get these members off of the mission vehicle. Hiron will be taken out. Overtime will go, and it will be a KO for Accelerate to close, and Macquarie are able to take Morocco here.
That they are. Huge stuff coming out from our teams into this one. They have been able to take a convincing scoreline. And what a day we've had so far. Accelerate and Tashi taking away MVPs each into this one. They're looking for more where that came from, as it will be letting the devil out once again. Huge stuff are coming out from Accelerate there, and that's going to put Macquarie on to series point into this one. So, really big stuff are coming out from them and their teams there. And it's going to be more where that came from, Tony.
Yeah, 42 KOs there for Accelerate. 25 final hits was absolutely insane. And for Monash, maybe the call is, do we finally ban out the Daredevil? Is it that much of an issue right now? I was going to say only time will tell, but for Macquarie, if they continue to rock with his Daredevil, it will be an absolute treat for them. But Matt, it's a rough one.
Yeah, definitely a rough one, but at least they have a bit of time now to recover. And while they do set themselves to recovery mode, we also will do the same, as we're going to head to a short break before we get into map number 3. See you soon. Welcome back, everybody, to Marvel Rivals here with AEL. It's time for our third place matchup. We are on to our third and possible decider map here. It's time to jump into a tone as we got Macquarie on top right now and Monash need to step up.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard act to answer right now because I feel like, you know, we put prior towards the Daredevil man, and you know, Macquarie just get to play everything else in their arsenal. I was gonna say, but yeah, definitely feel like I want to see that Daredevil be banned out because Macquarie, you know, the freedom to run with that one has been telling, right? I was gonna say Monash, you know, the newer team to go against this Macquarie side, and yeah, it's not looking great for them right now. We'll see as we go on to Symbiotic Surface Convergence, Matt. So they'll get to play for a little bit here, you know, defense and, of course, the attack on Symbiotic Surface. Quite fun to play. But yeah, some immediate prioritization, and yeah, Daredevil taken away by Monash.
Yep, banished. See you later.
No more Devil.
No, the Devil's gone back to hell. And fair enough. I do not want to deal with that again. And we'll see what is going to happen with the next step ban on board. As Psylocke has been prioritized for the Macquarie side here. So curious to see how else things will be responded to. Luna are going to be completely wiped out of the board there. Definitely understandable. And Psylocke's been a great, I guess, duelist for Macquarie as well. You know, they've been able to make some really good impact with that duelist as well. So very keen to see how things progress into this one as prioritization goes towards the rocket this time. So I can play into the Seer, the BRB beacons. It's all standard stuff coming out there from Monash. But what is going to be stolen away from them now into the next ban?
It's a good question. I was going to say Mantis definitely is something we could see be taken away. Invisible Woman is something that Macquarie didn't like dealing with, I was going to say, in that last one, because, you know, the Invisible Boundary is so good at shutting down some of the heavy dives that you feel like Macquarie's like, yeah, the fight's won just like that, but then all of a sudden Invisible Boundary pop, and Monash can play for it. Hela getting taken away is interesting. Normally you'd see the Namor probably ban more than the Hela, but, you know, they have to get rid of that team up. It's very strong at the moment, and respect to Macquarie for locking that one through. Rocket being picked up here for Monash as well, and the saves is an interesting one. I was going to say just kind of really wanting to use that BRB beacon as well. Cloak and Dagger actually getting let through this time for Monash. So some decent strategists available here for that Monash side, but Macquarie, they've still got a lot of things they can take away here from the likes of Monash. I imagine, you know, maybe they just kind of, yeah, take away the Jeff. Or yeah, take away something that's a little bit more, you know, very niche but still very good, and gonna be locking in the Jeff themselves.
Jeff time gonna be activatable here. I can understand it. You know, they definitely have some, I guess, decent opportunities to use it, albeit there's not entire map worthy opportunities, but there is at least some drop-off spots that you can activate upon. And what I like to see is Accelerate kind of flexing off into the Blade this time. We've seen a lot of great capability from Accelerate playing into the Blade before, and it's great to see that they're flexing back into that kind of role again here. You know, they can really do a lot of work, especially taking away some of those healing capabilities there. So, yeah, nice to see what they are going to be able to achieve.
Well, it's, yeah, I was going to say, this is just like a hard read from Accelerate, right? Especially with the fact that Monash, they have the ability to pick Mantis this time, so they're definitely going to pick into it, right? You know, Mantis, very strong, very capable character at dishing out a lot of damage, but as well, that ultimate just feels like I guess, a pseudo-invisible boundary. It kind of keeps everybody healthy in terms of, like, you know, a very unwinnable fight. But as well, they're bringing out the Adam Warlock, so Accelerate's just reading into this one absolutely perfectly. We'll see, interesting as well, kind of Vanguard composition here from Macquarie. They're going to go a little bit more heavy dive with the Thor and Hulk. So, you know, with the fact that they got the Jeff able to top them up in the backline, I feel like Macquarie, it's still survive, but it's a different version of it.
Yeah, they're kind of flexing off into a different direction there, and very eager to see. Ooh, that was a bit close, Tony, wasn't it? Could have been shut down before it even began there, but looks like they are still going to be trying to dive in. Ooh, BkWhatOCE is dancing really closely into that one, but time for Hulk to come online here, and a time for Jeff time to come online. A Crescent not getting anybody. Immediate punishment. Oh my goodness, Tony.
Yeah, that's I was going to say, the downside of playing Jeff, right? It's so good at helping your front line really walk up and keeps everybody healthy, but you can also dish out a ton of damage. But yeah, if that ult doesn't hit, then you're just a sitting duck, right? Monash is able to capitalize off of a mistimed Jeff ult and a mistimed push there on the side of Macquarie. As we'll see Kraken Impact as well up here for DSG. We'll see Soul Resurgence and Eternal Bond start to come up as well here. So Monash have got a few ultimates to play with.
They do, and it's time for the butterfly to come out here. Eternal Bond coming online, and let's see what else they are going to be able to do here as we jump in to the next portion here. Tymo going to be able to find one there. Crescent's gone down as well, so solid stuff coming at ya. It's time for the Hulk to come back online too. So Monash doing a really great job so far onto the defense, Tony. It feels like they've really felt that the pressure is at an all-time high for them, because if they lose here, then that's going to be a third place locked down for Macquarie.
Yeah, it's it's already still available here if they want to use it. Magneto and Meteor M coming out here trying to snipe to the Eternal Bond. Now some slash here from the side of Accelerate, and we'll be able to pick up one quickly just like that. DSG so high in air. We're going to see Jeff time as well presently. We'll see Karmic Revival here from Hiron, able to bring everybody back towards the point here, but it is going to be bot frag, double KO here on the Thor. It will be strangling Prison out of X-Plank, but there's nobody here to follow it up. Tero, a sliver of HP there, will be taken out by bot frag, but DSG able to still find the KOs back to keep Monash on this point and keep it defensive. Still we see bot frag up in air, sniped down by DSG. A minute now to play for, and well, Macquarie, this is not the push that they would have been hoping for.
Yeah, everything has gone wrong for them. You know, they aren't able to kind of reach the surface here. They're kind of just stuck on the wayside. It's crazy to see how this one's going, honestly, Tony, and I don't know what to say. You know, they're just kind of stuck with no way out. So very eager to see if they are going to be able to find that way out now, or maybe not. You know, they could just get stuck all the way to the end here, but we'll see how things go. Good to see they're using the pistol into this one. Oh, they're looking to activate now. You can tell they're focused on the strategist, but SG has managed to get nice pickups here. Ooh, looking to get the enemies there, but they've shut down Crescent. Again, a dumb chicken. Ready and waiting into the Hulk smash there. They are good to go on this one. They're now going to be back down to Hulk form. So that's going to be that for that push there. Macquarie, just time and time again, they're just getting unraveled.
Yeah, so we'll see. Dumb chicken stagger to try and stall this push out. And another Meteor coming out, trying to snipe out Crescently of all places there. A little bit slippery on the jet. We'll see Accelerate swap towards the Star-Lord. We'll see Portal onto the point here. We'll see Strangling Prison there onto Dumb Chicken, Eternal Bond as well. Keep everybody healthy. And, well, KO free here for the side of Monash. Overtime will tick. There is going to be no chance for Macquarie to capture that one completely. 0 percentage on the board here. Monash, they got time to play with.
Yeah, that's this could be a very short map of convergence, Tony. That's all I can say. If there's one solid push coming through here, it could be blasted away. But we'll see what happens. Curious what kind of composition we're looking to bring out here. Okay, I'm gonna play into the Phoenix and Wolvie team up. I respect it. You know, you can get a lot more, I guess, oomph out of the Wolverine with that one of the same with the Phoenix, but not gonna happen. Obviously, Phoenix suffering a little bit of you know, some nerves into this patch, I'd say. You know, not able to really dive into the fullest of its potential anymore. So most likely seeing a lot of players shy away from that fullest as opposed to other considerable options now. But are going to be seeing our players jump back in and look to give it their all in this next portion here, and see if Macquarie can have the defense of their lives, or whether it will be Monash coming out on top here.
3, 2,
Yeah, they're gonna have to put on a hell of a show. One would think you'd bring the Penny and the Rocket to play here, but for Monash, they're gonna be portaling straight off the rip towards the high ground here. And well, for Macquarie, they're gonna have to be ready for it. A dumb chicken up in the fray. They're already quickly KO'd here by Iron. Accelerate, trying to kidnap a crucial target here, but won't be able to find anybody. Playing around the health pack now, as we'll see Monash now drop on towards this point. And Macquarie, they are losing members, they are losing numbers. SG is able to find another on to accelerate, and we'll see that cap slowly come through, as we'll see the KOs trickle. Kero with 2. Just like that, in quick succession, Monash are able to put a map to the board.
Wow. I'm speechless. The fact that the map went the way that it did, and, you know, it goes to show the impact that the draft had on them. They managed to unravel one of the high impact duelists there, you know, banning out the Daredevil immediately, and the effects have certainly been felt into our map of Convergence on a symbiotic surface there, as Monash managed to very convincingly take away a map of their own here. So they were dancing on the edge of this series, but they've managed to find their way back in just at the right possible moment, just when it really counted, Tony. This is going to be great to build up a bit of momentum behind Monash here, but there's still a long road ahead, you know, because Macquarie, all they need is 1, and all that's needed for Monash is going to be 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's an interesting one, right? You feel like the Daredevil ban actually really had its impact. Accelerate. I was gonna say just maybe a Daredevil crutch. He's playing it that much that he doesn't know how to play anything else now. I was gonna say it feels like he's forgotten how to, you know, really maneuver everything else. But I was gonna say it's not just that, right? It was, you know, Macquarie just looked a little bit lost. I was gonna say some of the fights they were going for to try and cap that point just looked a little bit scatterbrained. And I was going to say a props to Monash there, that portal play to get them back onto the point and finding some crucial targets there, and the KOs was, I was going to say, really what made that game for them. And for a team like Macquarie, you know, I was going to say they'll probably shake that one off, go into the next few with, you know, a target on their back in terms of the Monash side. And, well, we go to Spider Island for this next one. Match should be a little bit more of a fun one. I was going to say a little bit more of a defensive kind of convoy pick for both these teams. So we'll probably see potentially triple Vanguard. I was going to say, I feel like Spider Island could loan itself to that triple Vanguard if we see it. Maybe an Angela in there for Tashi. Who knows? Macquarie have shown a lot of flexibility. I imagine, though, for the side of Monash, they'll probably keep it very stock standard of what they've been playing so far.
Yeah, I think that, you know, they've got a recipe that works, and I think that they're going to just keep kind of playing into that recipe and looking to refine it to be the best that it can. But yeah, I think that we could see some decent stuff, I guess, coming out from both sides there. I'm excited to see if Angela does get picked out here, you know, if maybe even just early on we see some sneaky plays with like a Spider-Man or something, you know, just try and get some environmental KOs through there, or maybe something else crazy like that. You can do anything. But we'll see what is going to be happening now as they ban Daredevil again, and it's going to be Lunar Snow taken in consequence.
Yeah, I kind of respect the Lunar Snow ban here from the side of Macquarie. It's been the first the past 2 maps, and it feels like they really don't want to let Monash play that one, because I was going to say, Tymo, you know, despite the loss that Monash took on that first map, Tymo on that Lunar Snow was not too bad. I was going to say, definitely felt like it had its impact. Adam War getting taken away here by Macquarie is a little bit of an interesting one. Mantis lock here for the likes of Monash. They really liked how Tymo played on that one. I was going to say, Tymo felt like, as this series progresses, really come into the strategist role as well. The fact that he's had to deal with such heavy frontline dive from Macquarie, really been answering that one perfectly. Psylocke lock here for Tashi, on the side of Macquarie. Luna Snow as well getting taken away for Monash, so we won't get to see any cool dance moves this time around, Matt.
Aww, that's a shame. Would have loved to see the dance moves, Tony, but you know, at least we might get to see one dance, Tony, and that's the dance of the butterfly. So that's going to be the one positive there. But speaking of positives, we are seeing some, I guess, a different approach towards minimizing the strategist this time. You know, they've taken away the Luna there from Macquarie. They've taken Jeff. They've taken Invisible Woman. They're not leaving them with, I guess, too many options here, but they do still have access to Rocket. So that's going to be huge for them. The fact that Monash has been allowed to grab the Mantis, though, that's interesting. Because typically you see that as like your top priority strategist band. So curious to see what they're trying to cook up here. Obviously, Monash doesn't have access to the Adam Warlock, so it's interesting the difference in the draft on this one, and curious to see exactly which way this one is going to go.
Yeah, it's a lot of I feel like a lot of prio picks getting let through here, right? Magneto's up for both sides. You know, Rocket's available, Ultron as well. I was gonna say Ultron's not too much. I was gonna say we haven't seen all too much Ultron recently. You know, it's a little bit more favored towards your golden three, right? Your Luna, your Mantis, and then maybe you get an Ultron in there. But sometimes people opt to bring the Rocket instead, or even in this case, we're seeing Accelerate potentially on towards the Adam Warlock. So Macquarie, you know, triple Vanguard, triple strategist as expected here on the defense side of Spider's Island. And, you know, look out as well. DesG has been one of those guys that's been floating under the radar here in this series overall. I was going to say just as well, you know, we're speaking about Tymo really coming to their own in the strategist role. DesG went 23 KOs to only 1 casualty there in that last one. So DesG playing super, super safe is something I want to keep my eye on here from Monash as well.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I feel like they made big impact, you know, heading into the last map in particular there. They were able to keep their team online for ages. It was just insane to see. But speaking of insanity, it's going to be Ultron time to bring heaps of insanity into the skies here, rising up, looking to knock their enemies down. But will they be able to succeed in that front? That's going to be tested, as they're going to be focused down by a cap in the skies. That's not something you see every day, but it's going to be today. And you know, today we're seeing KOs come out this way, that way. It's allowing Monash to already gain a little bit of movement. Just what I required.
And they're already getting some frontward pressure here. You can see Terra on the Venom being a nuisance towards the back line, and still able to run around for free here. Feast of the Abyss will be able to find Accelerate, but the revivals come through. The Seer comes through as well from Crescently. But you can see Rage of Ultron in return here. Accelerate's the one that has to deal with his Ultron, right? He's the only one playing a pseudo hit scan character, right? You can kind of shoot it out with the help of the Rocket, but still you're going to be seeing environmental KO there. Crescently, as everybody from the Quarry has to fall back. The Dumb Chicken now pulled out, and Monash are able to find this push.
Yeah, they are able to find it in the end there, so solid stuff coming through from them. Tashi trying to go for the last second stagger there, but it only just staggers themselves. So their team are going to take a little bit longer to regroup, but they are looking to go into some portal warfare here, so this could actually work out quite well for them. And here we go, jumping straight into it. They're taking damage from the jet though, but it's Strangling Prison straight into the Eternal Bond, and it's going to be Soul Resurgence, Kraken Impact, Invisible Boundary. All ultimates are coming online right now. Monash are having a hefty response here. Oh, and here we go, Fist of the Abyss as well. This could be what they were searching for. This could be what they need. Tashi, oh my goodness, coming back. Oh my. They are going to be able to utilize the Karmic Revival there, so good to see they can bring Bot Frag back with that one. Maybe someone else, you know, if anyone else gets taken down here, Bot Frag coming back. No, the ultimate will run its course, and Freedom Charge is going to keep them all online a while longer. So, Rage of Ultron coming out in a response here. Definitely could be good timing, but speaking of timing, it's time for Sia to come online from Crescent here. Trying to say goodbye to Monash into this one, and they're really bringing out everything they possibly can. Monash actually have the ult advantage, building them all back up here. Strangling Prison coming out into the Kraken impact. Bobrag does have a Strangling Prison of their own, but they aren't really going to be able to activate it. Their teammates are struggling here, going down, but at the perfect time, the Eternal Bond comes out with the Strangling Prison, so they are going to be back on deck here. It's another invisible boundary coming out, Tony. This fight just never stops.
Fight never stops. Soul Resurgence back here from Taimu and Asir as well for good measure. And once again, we're popping ultimates, and it's still all evened up here. We'll see another Strangling Prison come out. We'll see Rage of Ultron here. Iron's trying to fight Crescently, though. The prioritization out of that ultimate there with the Strangling Prison, you felt like that was a free one for Hiron just to find those KOs here, but Accelerate will be able to snipe out on air, and it will be actually Macquarie finally able to hold it down. It's only 25 seconds, but that fight went for so long. Now Monash are on the back foot.
I'm just surprised they managed to cycle through their ultimates not once, twice through the course of the fight, Tony. And they're doing it again. It hasn't even ended. It's just crazy to see how quickly they've been able to recharge. Like already, they have the Eternal Bond again. They have the Strangling Prison again. Everything is out again. But it's going to be KO City from Bot Frag there. Huge Strangling Prison. Tashi jumping in with Present as well. Kraken Impact coming out from Des G here. Oh my. A last-ditch effort, and it all goes up in smoke.
It all goes down there for Monash, and the 88 meters capped. And you felt like they had the winning composition. They had the Ultron. Macquarie were playing the triple Vanguard, triple strategist that Ultron kind of thrives against, right? You know, nobody's playing that hit scan, that pseudo Ultron counter, so Pyro was probably able to roam free there for a little bit, but you saw the portal back there onto the high ground. Macquarie are able to play that choke position there because you get so much value out of the healing orbs. You get so much out of the Groot walls too. Macquarie, that was a huge hold there. Now they've got 4 minutes to push a whole 88 meters here. Monash, what do they bring to the table? It's X-Plank to Magneto. It's SG still rocking with the Winter Soldier. We'll see Hiron swap over to the Phoenix now, but you know, as you said, Matt, Phoenix is a little bit of a weaker pick, so I don't know if I like this one out of Monash.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, I guess, how it goes, because, you know, traditionally, Phoenix can bring out a lot of that, like, bursty potential, which could be good, but, yeah, I don't know if it's going to be exactly what they need here, Tony. I guess it'll be up to them to prove themselves here. See, it is really going to be able to allow them to activate into the proper placement there that they're seeking out. See how Macquarie goes into this next attacking phase now, as using the walls to their advantage, trying to zone off the lines of sight here and see if they can get more where that came from. But to see that Monash, they aren't staying too closely, they are backpedaling a little bit and just trying to keep themselves well maintained here. But I mean, speaking of well maintained, Macquarie are maintaining the mission vehicle right now and are already pushing up almost halfway in second.
Yeah, I was going to say Monash, you know, they can play around this choke position here, but they can't let the cap go all too far here. We'll see Thor walk up, we'll see Accelerate come back here on the revival. He's on the backlight of all things. See it coming out here from Crescently. Now as the damage gets amped up here for Macquarie, they need to break those stones. They need to get on towards these KOs here. We'll see Tashi juggling around, dishing out the damage there. Tymo up on the high ground now under fire here from Tashi. Of course, not quite hitting the ultimate mark there. We'll see Tashi fall back there. Monash are getting slowly pushed back here over towards 76 meters here, and just a little bit further and a little bit further. Macquarie will go dance to the butterfly. We'll find the KO on Acero and Song Inferno. He has to be huge, but it doesn't quite come out at the right time. And that will be Macquarie locking it up 3-1 in the series. An 88 meters push there, 2 minutes 30 left on the clock as well, matching dominance out of Macquarie this evening.
Yeah, amazing stuff coming through from them there. That is going to be them locking down a third place here. So, great stuff coming out from Macquarie into this one. They will take it away a 3-1 in the end. And that is going to be that closing out the series after quite the onslaught there, Tony. You know, these maps were just going back and forward towards the end there, especially. But Macquarie were able to lock it down when it counted. So, solid stuff coming out from them. And they are going to be afforded a third place for their troubles.
Yeah, huge third place to pick up because, you know, we saw Macquarie throughout the Elite Series, one of those teams that was very capable at times and, you know, unfortunately just didn't quite get the wins towards the later end of the season. But, you know, we look at this roster, we're like, yeah, Kashti's a household name, Accelerate's a household name, but as well, their strategists, Crescently Delu, very strong in that regard, as well the Vanguards. I was going to say, Botfrag really impressed me there on that last one there on the Groot. I was going to say, you know, Magneto was available, but Botfrag proves that he's not just a one-trick pony. He can play a lot of different Vanguards. Dumb Chicken as well, showing flexibility. You know, we saw the Cap at times. We as well saw the Black Panther. You know, to some success it had, but it definitely felt more at home with Dumb Chicken there on the Vanguards. And I was going to say Macquarie, again, you know, we speak about our teams for the Elite Series, and we speak about flexibility out of them. Really came to show here as well in the Open Series playoffs here for Macquarie.
Yeah, I wouldn't agree more. You know, locking down third place for a 3-1 series there. Great stuff coming out from Macquarie here. But next on the horizon, it's going to be Adelaide University taking on QUT in the grand final. So, who will be able to take it? Will it be the Avengers? Will it be Respawn? Who knows? Who's going to be able to find it in this one, as it's all or nothing in this one.
Yeah, it should be an interesting one. I was going to say, we've seen what QUT are capable of, and I guess we're not too familiar with Adelaide, but hopefully they'll show us what they're capable of, and Matt, it should be a very exciting grand final there.
That's it. Definitely should be. While we get prepped for that one, everybody, we are going to be heading to a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back before you know it. Welcome back, everybody, to AEL Marvel Rivals, here with Matty and TwoTapTony, and our sponsors. A big shout out to AGON by AOC, the #1 gaming monitor brand in the world. AGON by AOC provide best-in-class monitor solutions for gaming and all other needs.
And of course, power your game with the latest HyperX gear at Officeworks. Push performance to the limit with the latest in gaming tech. From high spec to precision gear, Officeworks has what you need.
That's it. Big shout out to them there, and a big shout out to Indomie, the noodle partner, made with high quality flour and selected ingredients and spices. A plate of Indomie mee goreng will certainly brighten up your day. Try any one of the flavors available today from your local grocer or at indomie.com.au. So big shout out to all of our sponsors there.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out our sponsors. Couldn't be possible without them. But Matt, yeah, we've got I was gonna say another interesting best of 5 coming up here, the grand finals, QUT versus AU, Adelaide University. It should be an interesting one because we're seeing what QUT are capable of, but again, always that element of surprise here. Adelaide could pull out something crazy that we're not expecting.
Yeah, exactly right. You know, there's always going to be that element of surprise, just like we saw some surprises earlier. But speaking of surprises, we are going to be rising up into our rosters. Adelaide University coming at you with a demonic, Oblivious, Munchduck, Alice, Whiteboard, and Vidal. And we got a QUT coming at you with Jay, Rexy, Scamazon, Juicy, Donners, and Talisman.
Yeah, some interesting rosters, QUT. As I said, again, talking about the same point I made with Macquarie, so many games that QUT could have picked up, but didn't. I believe as well, QUT were one of those teams that came into the Elite Series as like an unknown threat. I was going to say we saw QUT take a few early games that we weren't probably expecting out of them. And new kids on the block, and they definitely showed up super well. But this is I guess to credit here for the side of Adelaide Uni. They come in with the element of surprise here as we go towards the Celestial Husk for our first map here. Once again, domination, and one of those teams I imagine that wants to get a strong start going for themselves.
Yeah, and let's see how this ban and save phase will go. And now, as we're jumping straight into it, and let's see what they can get out of it. Looks like it's going to be a double strategist ban this time around, Tony. So nicely done to take the key strategists out of the mix here. And curious to see. Ooh, it's going to be a Jeff save. Okay.
Yeah, that is that's an interesting one for QUT. I was going to say we haven't seen too much Jeff play out of them in terms of I guess the Elite Series, but we'll see. Maybe they've changed their tune here for the Open Series playoffs. For the side of Team AU, though, we'll be taking the Psylocke lock here. Taking away the Emma Frost is a smart call as well. I was going to say, didn't see all too much Emma Frost in that last series, but Emma Frost is one of those characters that can really shut down some of that dive potential. So taking away the Emma, locking in the Psylocke, I imagine Adelaide Uni definitely want to play to the same strength that we saw from our last two teams. Of course, the dive composition is very prevalent and still seems to be the meta. They're going to be taking away Emma and locking it in for themselves.
Yeah, good to see that they can, I guess, prioritize that key Vanguard there, and very eager to see they are going to be able to do it, or do with it rather. But we'll see what the next save is going to be heading into the next portion here. It's going to be Phoenix. Okay, Phoenix going to be saved here. I honestly wasn't expecting that, but definitely have seen a lot of potential out of this roster utilizing the Phoenix.
Pick your hero,
so
or villain.
yeah, keen
I'm
to see
not
how that
judging.
one is going to go. But wow, nah, there's no way, Tony.
Nah,
Man.
no way.
Black Widow?
Black Widow
Nah, man.
into Daredevil Captain America?
Yeah, there we go.
I wouldn't think so. Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't think so. Daredevil Captain potentially there for the side of QT. I'm not playing Widow in any regard there. That's just asking to get KO'd.
Yeah, I can agree with that, Tony. I think that's going to be, yeah, high KO potential. Not a high KO achieving potential, to say the least. So, yes, I'm glad they've shied away from that. But we are seeing the Daredevil break back out now from the Talisman here. So, need to see how they let the Devil out into this one. You know, I think there's going to be some decent KOs for them here. But we'll see what they can get done here into the Codex. They are now going to have the gates open. It's time to rise up, give it their best into the Celestial Husk.
Mission area to unlock. And we're going to be seeing Strange Emma here for the side of Adelaide Uni. So things say very shield, very defensive, as we said. You know, we expect Emma to be a little bit more peel heavy for the backline, but on the side of QC, they're rocking with the Ultron here. Talisman are going to be bringing that one to play here. Scammers on. Already finding a quick KO there on the side there onto Demonic. So strong side QC is, we used to see Scammers on just kind of controlling the left-hand side themselves here. And if I was Adelaide Uni, I'd focus out Scammers on right now because they're very out of position.
Yeah, I think that would be a pretty key pick to try and take away there, but going to be able to capture it this time. Juicy diving straight in the back line there. It's just a poke and prod type of approach here, and they're doing a great job of just keeping their enemies at bay, just kind of holding it down and lock it in. Oh my goodness, look at that damage already. Ionic Hook coming out though from Vidal, and going to be looking to fall back. So, oh, impact time. Rex is slipped away, so the ultimates are honestly useless.
That feels a little bit of a mismanagement of that one. Alice, though, a great kick on a J, looking for a little bit more there with the help of Demonic, and well, the ultimate there from Vidal doesn't really do all too much. The rest of Adelaide Uni are able to capture that point. Start to build the percentage for themselves there. I was going to say just great upfront positioning there from Alice, and I was going to say for QT just, as I said, a little bit out of position in some of those engagements that they went for here. We'll see. Might be choke once again as QT come back up.
Back up and lock it down into the range of Ultron here, trying to see if they can burn their way into the end song Inferno as well, and they will capture one, but not any of the ones who activate it. It's going to be Juicy. Traded back onto Donna's though. Invisible Boundary not able to protect them this time. It is the Psionic Seduction. He's doing leaps and bounds to push them away here. Alice trying to hold on strong. Jeff time coming out though. Rexy going for a trip. They're not going to be able to hold on, or will they? They're slipping through the cracks here, throwing their enemies away. Not off the map, but at least they create a little bit of distance, I guess. But it's going to be a difficult way to pursue this one.
The freedom charge out of Juicy. Trying to make something work here for QT, but also crack an impact here towards the two that are trying to run away for the moment. Double KO from Vidal, looking for the reset here on towards the cap, but Juicy's able to get away. Walk on the Talisman is beautiful there from Vidal. Very much landing these ones liberal here for the side of Adelaide Uni. They'll cap to 70% now. QT once again are on the back foot.
Yeah, on the back foot and trying to put their front foot forward here. Good KO coming out from Rexy there. Let's see if they can gather more around the front of this one. A Meteor Am is activatable as well, should they require it. Stroke Slam coming out though. Tottenham's in a bit of trouble there. Doing their best to hold on, but it's Sia coming out from Adelaide Uni here. Ooh, Psionic Seduction as well. They're finding KOs around the bend now. My goodness, Tony. Look at how they hone in and just hunt them with that ultimate there. That is insane stuff coming through from Adelaide Uni here. And there's going to be more on the table.
More on the table there. Rexy stalls out those KOs there, but they actually did not come through. Vidal was able to get away. It's the bonfire now here from Demonic. We'll be able to find a triple KO on the point here, and we'll see Adelaide Uni capture the Husk here, Matt.
Yeah, they will be able to capture the Codex, and now they have to try and open the vault. It's locked shut. It's secure right now. Wow. Somebody's going to open it, Tony. Eager to see who will. we are going to be jumping in to the next portion here. So, without further ado, Mr. TwoTapTony, let's get this one underway. As we are going to be heading on through into another round ahead of us. And it's going to be, I suppose, subtle changes ahead, but nothing too significant as yet. As teams prepare for battles here and look to rattle things up. It's the Battle of the Rockets. Let's see who's going to shoot for the stars.
4, 3,
Yeah, Battle of the Rockets here. Daredevil once again for towers. You see, they do have some ultimates to play with. Ensong, Inferno, and Magneto meets your Emperor. The other side of things, Kraken impacts. And I have Agamotto as we walk towards the mission area once again. We'll see. Pushing out some upfront damage here. Alice getting in quite a bit of chip as well with that laser beam.
They're trying to burn them away with that one, aren't they? Ooh. Let's see you, Whitewood. There it is! Agamotto time! Priming up! And looking to get a more Kraken impact online as well. Hunting down those KOs one for one. They get the job done, and they're looking for even more. The shield does it not yield another tick on that ultimate, so Kraken will be sealed away for now. But there's going to be another chance for that later in the piece. And they are looking to see if they can maintain some peace here, but QUT, they're already bringing back the fight.
Yeah, I was gonna say they need to be a little bit careful here. Adelaide Union may be overstepping, but Al will be able to fall back. They do now have invisible boundary up here, but QT, you know, there's so many ultimates as well that start to build for them. You see, I have Agamotto potentially available here for Juicy.
Yeah, let's see how this one goes, Tony, as we a lot of Doctor Strange action here. Nice double KO went into that one, and let's see what else will be going through. It looks like they're trying to chop down the tree.
Yeah. I'm trying to do a little bit of...
They're saying, do not bring out Groot or this is what will happen.
Garden work.
Yeah, lots of gun work there, and curious to see if they are going to be doing more than just that, as it's going to be plenty of good stuff on its way, Tone. Lots of ultimates be and they are going to be activating them. Look at that, so much seduction into the letting the devil out. Visible boundary. Everybody is kung fu fighting right now, Tony, and they are going to be fast as lightning with those hits and KOs, Tone. This is insane, Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, so many ultimates burned that it feels like, you know, QT should have been winning out that fight, but Adelaide Uni are able to play for it. The Jap time coming out there from Rexy doesn't really do all too much with Demonic, able to snipe it out. I have Agamotto here available for Whiteboard, but they're just staggering out these KOs here with the Maelstrom from Whiteboard. It will be Adelaide Uni able to capture back the point here and start to build the percentage.
You've captured more than half of the mission area.
They will going to be spilling ahead with some percentage going in their favor, and be looking to see if they can match them and maybe even exceed them. Getting into this next portion here, as they've got a few tools to utilize. Oop. And they are going to get a ton of damage. Almost managed to get a drive-by through onto the KO there, but it's going to be Sia online. I have Agamotto coming out as well. Kraken Impact's already been utilized. Meteor M coming out. Not going to be able to get anything onto this one, but it's going to be Whiteboard finding Juicy there. So nice start. More to follow. Oh my, Tony, it's a team wipe.
Absolute insane psionic seduction. They're not even needing I have Agamotto. I was looking at Whiteboard, I'm like, surely this is the prime opportunity, but now it might be as they teleport back on towards the point. Lucy gets the butterfly swing on through. It's better out with a double KO of their own. Let's set them back in the spawn. They're not even out of it. Ensong Inferno coming out from Scammers on here. I have Agamotto from Whiteboard as they go through the portal here to try and stop QT and stagger them out here We see visible boundary on towards the point, but pushed away. Scamazon can't stall it. Celestial Husk and the Codex to Adelaide Uni here, Matt. What a domination map from them.
That's it. The Codex and the Vault have now been claimed by Adelaide Uni. So, great way to start the series off here in domination, and Demonic in name and nature will be able to claim the MVP on the Psylocke. So, great start here into the series, and very excited to see how things go heading into the next. As you look at the stats right now, Demonic hitting you up with 15 final hits there, 29 on the KOs, and they put on one hell of a show. But Vidal was one of the same, you know, really styling on it with the Bucky there. So, excited to see how the rest of this one will play out. Obviously, QT getting left behind a little bit into that one. I was definitely impressed with how Juicy managed to hold themselves together. And, you know, Scamazon and the Talisman definitely tried their best as well, but they just kept getting exceeded, Tony.
Yeah, it felt interesting. It feels like, you know, Scamazon with this Phoenix pick maybe a little bit behind the 8-ball in terms of the meta right now. Psylocke seems to be pretty strong. Heller as well, of course, was banned, so QT really couldn't bring that one to fruition. It felt like there was a lot of mismanagement there. I was going to say props to Juicy on the Vanguard kind of doing a lot of the heavy lifting for QT, but for the side of Adelaide Uni, that was a very strong, I was going to say, just a lot of, like, focus fire, as you said, towards some of those KOs. You saw Alice really walk it up with Whiteboard, and then the duelists were following up. Vidal was able to find a few crucial KOs there, and it just looked like the communication from Adelaide was just that little bit better than QUT.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with you there, Tony. You know, you saw this energy really showcase itself through and through into that one. Like, they were really able to showcase their strengths, and it just shone through so brightly into that first map. But obviously, it's going to have to take a bit of consistency in order to bring the same kind of momentum, the same kind of approach into the second map as well. And I'm curious to see what that's going to look like, you know, which kind of set of scenery we're going to be heading towards. You know what? I'm curious to see if yeah, we have some new and exciting things on their way. I'm thinking, Tony. I'm thinking, but we'll see what things look like once we do get back into the endeavor. You know, I feel like we got some good stuff on its way. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be an interesting one. I was going to say Psylocke was definitely maybe a priority there towards you know, Adelaide Uni's way. I was going to say they definitely played that one super well. Either that or the Emma Frost, probably two of the characters I would definitely look to take away if I'm QUT right now.
Yeah, no, I can definitely agree with you there, Tone, and definitely keen to see how they zone in, as we do have a substitution coming out right now. It's going to be Scamazon subbed out and Omni-Man online. So we are going to be seeing Omni-Man once again, Tony. Great to see that one be activated here. You know, definitely a high impact player for the squadron, and we're going to see that again.
Yeah, I was going to say Omni-Man coming in for QUT is an interesting one, because I feel like Omni-Man can play a lot of different kind of characters that QUT might want to implement.
Yeah.
I was going to say, from memory serves me correct, I was going to say the Fantastic is probably something Omni-Man's pretty comfortable on.
Yeah, that one, and like the BP as well, has been something that Omni-Man could play into. I'd say just a lot of the high mobility duelists.
Yeah.
It is just Omni-Man's specialty. You know, they're really strong. And it's showcased, you know, in their competitive play in a lot of aspects. So I think that this is a very high power player that they're looking to try and add into the mix here to see if they can mix things up and really, I guess, get their best foot forward. But we'll see how it goes. You know, obviously, jumping into the next portion, it's going to be a tough challenge to try and bounce back off the first map loss. But I guess that's why, you know, you got to take some time, gain your composure, and look to give it your absolute best.
Yeah, and I was going to say we get to go back to Hellfire Gala for our second series here. And I was going to say a lot of interesting things. You know, I saw a lot of penny play here on Hellfire Gala. I imagine both of these teams are probably going to bring that one to the table. Very choke heavy map, I was going to say. So a lot of the I guess the flyers like Ultron gets really strong on a map like Hellfire Gala, where you can really utilize the Rage of Ultron's comboed with a group potentially here. So I imagine I'd want to see maybe some of those more flyer centric picks a little bit more towards, you know, choke heavy kind of dominant characters. But I was gonna say I feel like we haven't seen the flexibility yet here of Adelaide Uni's pool. And of course, for QUT now bringing in Omni-Man, they could look to change it up here as well.
Yeah, they're really good, and it's just going to be, I guess, quite the test, you know, to see if they are going to be able to make the most out of this change up, whether they can really, I guess, engage and, you know, really push themselves to the limit to come online, because obviously Omni-Man's a great player and they can make a lot of impacts, but I mean, we saw a lot of impacts coming out, one and the same from their opponents as well, Tony. You know, I think that they were a pleasant surprise to, I guess, see here from Adelaide Uni. Because, you know, obviously we haven't really had the chance to tap into them, so to speak, until now. And it's a pleasant surprise to see that they're really heating up here tonight.
Yeah, very impressed here for the Adelaide Uni side. For QUT, you know, as we spoke about, a team that's, you know, worried in the Elite Series. You know, they had a few wins here or there that had... The golden word is potential, right? I was going to say, I looked at this roster, I'm like, there's a lot of good things going for them. Juicy, especially on that Vanguard, is one thing I want to keep my eye on. I was going to say is we'll see, once again, picks and locks here. Psylocke getting taken away for QUT. That's a great answer. As I said, I wanted to see that one getting taken away. But on the other side of things, Adelaide Uni taking away Luna, and then locking in Magic, of all things.
Okay. Interesting to see that one locked down there. Maybe wanting to play into the chains? You know, maybe play into that team up there with Strange. Definitely can find a bit of potential. I mean, it makes sense as well. You know, they're hovering over, I guess, a lot of characters with a bit of crowd control there. You know, Squirrel Girl in particular, Spider-Man even. Obviously, they're not going to be playing into that roster. Well, you'd think so. But yeah, it looks like the Strange band coming out in response is exactly what they're thinking. You know, they do not want to see that team up online, but also this does deny some of the last minute kind of mission vehicle contention. So I'd say it's a double-edged ban coming out there. Being able to get the save through onto the Emma Frost as well is going to be big for them.
Yeah, Ultron EP taken away. Save on the Emma Frost. Taking away the Strange is a great answer, I was going to say, for QUT. You know, as my mind casts back to the Elite Series, and when Strange got taken away from Monash, it felt like they were defenseless. They weren't quite able to do those portal plays that you expect. They're not able to get back on point. And I was going to say, that's a great identifier band there for QUT. Interesting as well to see priority towards the Venom. Maybe I was going to say Omni-Man's hovering the Iron Fist. We're going to be seeing Daredevil here for Talisman. So heavy dive composition potentially thought about here for QUT. On the side of Adelaide, we're going to be seeing Magic locked in for Demonic. Potentially Alice going to be bringing the Angela out. I was going to say Angela, what we saw from our last series, Angela, pretty good pick on a, or at least towards the first point here on the Hellfire Gala Convoy.
Yeah, very eager to see how that one plays out for them. You know, they can definitely create a lot of space with that Vanguard pick there. And we've seen it before, I think, based on how, like, Alice was playing Vanguard into the last map. I feel like they're going to be very aggressive. You know, we saw how they played Emma Frost before, Tony. So I'm feeling like there's some power behind this one. But speaking of power, here we go once again. Omni-Man is going to be playing into that melee duelist there, playing in at the Iron Fist. And they've got the Talisman jumping on in through the Daredevil there as well. So it's all hands on deck in that respect. So need to see how this one works for them as they are jumping straight into the fold here, Tone, and have Hella run out from Oblivious this time around. And already Vidal looking to bring up the group walls and see if they can close that line of sight.
Yeah, trying to block off Talisman, trying to get over the top of that one. A little bit over aggressive there for Vidal. Omni-Man will be able to secure a quick KO. They're playing someone back here. BRB beacon freeze Talisman back into the fray. Monk is just poking around, trying to do something juicy. A little bit too far forward. And, unfortunately here, for the side of QT, they're kind of just losing out this fight slowly but surely as Adelaide all grouped up here for this push.
All grouped up and ready to go. And have managed to get the trade through as well. So not too shabby, Tony, but, you know, Adelaide, despite out. Oh my goodness. Oh, there it is, Tony. That's going to be Alice coming through with the environmental KO there, leaving them at the drop-off point. They are looking for more. Juicy, though. Nicely done. And the defensive KO through. Talisman can be traded as well. So there's just a lot of these one-for-ones. Big wall coming down there. They stall it out. And they get the most from it. And speaking of the most, you know, they have the Sia online. And it didn't really do much for them at all.
It's unfortunate to see the side of QT, but I was going to say, yeah, just strangling prison was great as well from Vidal to set that one up. We'll see Beast of the Abyss out of here for Juicy, trying to get these KOs quickly, but Darkchild going through from Demonic over towards the backline. Rexy trying to find a crucial Jeff time. Also Goddess of Death through everybody. Feigning that Jeff ultimate was a whiteboard KO there in the process, but we can still see Adelaide Uni fighting healthy. We'll see Omni-Man now off the Iron Fist ultimate, see what he can do on the Vidal. We'll be able to pick it up, looking for a little bit more onto Demonic, but of course Demonic's the only one left on the mission vehicle, trying to feign these players out, trying to dodge them for the moment. QT are still able to hold for the moment, but we'll see fate of both worlds. Whiteboard able to keep Adelaide Uni up.
Here to keeping them up and knocking down QT here. Ooh, here we go. Psionic Seduction. Bringing up the KOs. They've already found plenty. Trying to respond here. Adelaide do find one back, but it's one and done. The Talisman is fantastic with the cracking impacts there. Omni-Man will close it out. So, great way to zone out the fight towards the last possible moments here. Does build up a bit more time, but Adelaide still going to be good for another fight here, and they have access to the Strangling Prison and potentially the Darkchild around the corner here, so QUT need to lock in some damage to get some ults of their own, otherwise it's going to be a one-sided affair, Tony.
Could be a one-sided affair. Control for high ground, very important right now. Strangling Prison coming through from Vidal. Will try to stop them here in the chokehold towards the high ground. The Omni-Man is still picking away, punching down these strategists towards the backline. Sorry. And of course, Whiteboard trying to get away for the moment. He's still able to dodge out the KO. Omni-Man still going here for the KOs, punching away as well on the Vidal. Omni-Man, do you run out of gas right now? 20 seconds left here. Adelaide, you need to try and get out of spawn.
Oh, let's see if they can do it. The walls are working out to try and zone out some of the damage here, but it may not be enough. Living Cheese coming online. It's time to open up the town hall. Time to see who will rise, who will fall here, Tone. Ooh, getting to the little health there, but doesn't matter. They've managed to achieve their objective. They've managed to keep them in spawn. They will not push the mission vehicle any further. It's time to switch sides and see if they can hold on.
Top-notch team to win this one.
Yeah, let's see if they can hold on, right? Gonna say not like a lot of pushing needs to happen here for QUT. And yeah, maybe Omni-Man was the difference maker. It feels like QUT are a little bit more target-centric. Here we see, you know, I was gonna say a little bit more dive. Juicy was, it felt like on their own for so long, but Omni-Man is there with them. Adelaide Uni now, they swap a few things up. We'll see Mantis now, or Oblivious. Team up there with the group.
That's it. Gonna be bringing out the Groot and gonna be ready. See if they have damage to boot. And
Get ready.
I'm sure there's gonna be plenty where that came from, Mr. Tony. They are opting into the high ground here. See if they can capture anyone on the defensive side of this one. Then I definitely wouldn't doubt that they will be able to build themselves up towards a little bit of success here, but you never know. Till you know, Tone, and
4,
let's see
3,
how things go. They're setting up, there you go, Thorn wood wall there. To see if they can capture anyone. There we go, just trying to bait and switch them. Ooh, big one on the hook though. Line and sinker, wow! Omni-Man locks it down. Look at this damage, Tony. Oh my goodness.
Whoa. The target focus here. Omni-Man just absolutely flying through air. Using that Iron Fist maneuverability to get all on top of the side of Adelaide Uni, and now QUT. They're almost halfway, and it doesn't feel like Adelaide Uni really have the response already. Juicy just could be in out from the wall, making all the damage, and then just gets out for free.
Yeah, they're just maybe trying to be a bait target. I'd say it's just chilling, but speaking of chilling, they are going to be able to peel away a couple of KOs out of this one, and oh my goodness, going to lock down a ton of damage there. Holding back. We'll switch up though. Ooh, cracking impact. Right downtown. I'm looking to see if they can get something through with it. They may just be able to. Focus is switching sides, but it don't matter. No one is contesting the mission vehicle, and just like that, they sneak it through, Tony. And that's map 2. Done and dusted. QUT tie it up 1 apiece into the series.
Yeah, some adaptation. Much needed there. A well-deserved MVP for Omni-Man there on the Iron Fist. I was going to say just absolute difference maker. It felt like QT, that's what they wanted to execute on that last map, but it just didn't feel like they had the follow-up. Juicy wanted to walk up. Donnas wanted to walk up. They didn't have that duelist there to really help them out, but Omni-Man, 20-3 there. 10 final hits. 11k damage, man, on the Iron Fist of all things. I was gonna say, Iron Fist is normally like a final hit machine, right? You kind of just chase down the strategist there and, you know, beat them into submission, but 11k damage there on the Iron Fist from Omni-Man, quite impressive.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Tony. You know, they definitely made a statement, made waves on to that melee-based duelist there, and curious to see what the adaptation will be heading towards map 3 of this one. You know, how are they going to converge into this one ahead of us? Who knows? But definitely keen to see what they can achieve heading forward into this one. Maybe they change up the bands a little bit. I doubt there'll be an Iron Fist band, but I mean, after a game like that, Tony, you never know. Like we saw the Daredevil prioritization in the first series, so you know, would be a bit of a change up into this next portion too.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe just I was gonna say this game really is like made or break in the picks and bans, right? I was gonna say a lot of these maps have come down to just high prio towards different kind of compositions here. We saw Emma and Venom for QT, just such a strong front line. You know, Juicy really felt like they were able to do a lot more in that map, especially compared to the last one where you're just kind of playing strange. You're kind of just holding shield here or there, looking for a good Eye of Agamotto, but Juicy felt a little bit more alive there on the Venom. I was going to say Donna as well on the Emma Frost was good to see. But Matt, it appears we're going back to Clint once again for our third map.
That's it. Symbiotic Surface for Convergence here once again. Curious to see if this one's going to beat the last one's record. You know, we saw 5 minutes before, so yeah, I'm curious to see if that's going to be the timing over this side again. I highly doubt it, but you don't know, Tony. Anything can happen. We could see another 5 minutes, or we could see another 50. No, it won't be 50. Nowhere near that. But we're definitely excited to see what this map is going to turn into as we jump into the ban and save phase already. Immediately, Luna and Psylocke are taken out. And I think that that's great that QUT are kind of diverting the focus there and looking to see how they can, I guess, maneuver themselves with the Venom prioritization. But it's going to be Black Panther banned out. And I think that that's a targeted ban towards Omni-Man.
Yeah, definitely a targeted one, but as we saw, you know, you take away his Black Panther, he'll just play. I was going to say the next best thing, right? I was going to say Daredevil is available if Omni. I feel like Omni-Man's the kind of guy that would bring out a Daredevil, but I don't know, maybe hasn't got enough reps on it yet, so the Iron Fist just feels a little bit more comfortable. Emma Frost lock here for the side of Adelaide Uni. They're going to commit a ban there to the Iron Fist.
Yep, they just want to be anti-Omni-Man, it would appear.
Yep.
Yep, it's just a full anti-Omni-Man Arsenal right now. And, you know, I can respect it. I mean, considering the impact that Omni-Man can make, it makes sense. But, I mean, it's not like Omni-Man could just play 2 heroes. 3 heroes, for that matter. There's a lot more in the arsenal than maybe even they realize. But we'll see how things progress as the next ban will be locked down. And QUT, you know, they're making waves. They've managed to chop their way through key duelists there, taking away a couple of key vanguards as well. Like, what else can go here is what's got me questioning. But it's going to be Luminous Snow taken out into this one. So going to be one more save online here for QUT. And yeah, I don't know what they kind of keep for themselves. Possibly a key strategist into this one. But I mean, there's little likelihood, yeah, that the strategist will be banned away. So Emma going to be a save this time.
Yeah, I'm a save for both sides. QT
Wow.
really valuing that one. And once again, Venom save as well. QT really liking both of those picks though. Winter Soldier be banned away. Omni-Man gonna bring out the Wolverine. That's a throwback, man. I was gonna say we haven't seen Omni-Man on the Wolverine in quite a while.
No, we haven't seen it in ages, and I'm sure you remember what that's capable of in a Tay-Day. Yeah, I'm kind of scared, especially considering, you know, they're playing into the Groot there. They have the Emma Frost. Like, I feel like Omni-Man should just realistically be able to rip through them, provided they have like, adequate support for their team. Yeah, everything will be working out wonderfully. But in saying that, obviously Adelaide gonna have a great defensive setup. You know, they've got a team up between Groot and Rocket there. They can really do a good job setting up the walls there. They can play into the Emma Frost as well. And very excited to see how the Magic fares or Demonic into this one.
Yeah, it felt like it I guess missed its mark last point there. I was going to say just didn't really get a lot of value out of the Dark Childs from Demonic. Well, eyes are on Adelaide needing to adapt there because QT, Omni-Man coming into the fray, feel like a different breed. Juicy's running around here, just getting topped up there by Rexy. Of course, as well, the symbiotic team up there with Jeff is a small thing to note, but Triple Strategist, Talisman going to be on the Mantis as well, so we'll see QT walk it up with very healthy HP bars, all things considered. Omni-Man attempting the kidnap there as you see him fly through. He'll be able to get the shields up, and he's able to live for the moment.
Yeah, going to be able to live for now, but we'll see if that is going to be the case for much longer, because Whiteboard has actually been super solid at picking up a ton of power, a ton of damage there, as their Groot is just able to isolate the angles, so they can just trickle through a ton of damage into this one. See if they can get more time. Oh, this is big. It's picked up. Oh, 2 key targets here. Rexy going to take advantage of this one. They've got Sia online, Oblivious. Ooh, cracking impact from downtown. They found Rexy. They're looking for more. Vidal is sending them back in here. And that is going to be sending them into high gear on the defense. Huge stuff coming out from Adelaide into the initial fight.
Yeah, that was a crazy follow-up there from Vidal. So we'll go back into it. UT once again try to walk it out. Do have Soul Resurgence, do have Eternal Bond if they need it, but as well, Aliuni, Dark Child here for Demonic. We'll see Strangling Prison, we'll see Silent Seduction as well. So a lot of ultimates here, all of them to pop and all immediately fall towards it. Dark Child here from Demonic, trying to find something, but the Soul Resurgence keeps everybody healthy here for UT.
That's it, keep them healthy as can be, Mr. Tony, and see just how things go into the rest of this one. Eternal Bond obviously online, Psionic Seduction coming out. Ooh, and they have managed to find a couple of KOs, but going to be brought back by the BRB there. Maybe not long though. They are trading out KOs into this one. Oblivious is going down though, so be the time to shine. Demonic are trying the best they can. They are locked down though. See the power of the tendrils there. Cracking impact from Fadal would be great, but it's not great enough. Omni-Man and Juicy drop them down and convert this one into the convoy section. They're not stopping. Last stand coming out. They are looking to get a hard reset there, and that is going to be huge for the early momentum onto the mission vehicle, but it's a bit too soon. They're still going. They're not stopping.
Yeah, Oblivious needs to get out of there. I was going to say Juicy does overextend astronomically, but it doesn't matter. You know, QT have control of the mission vehicle. Omni-Man as well going to go down, and finally now this is probably where QT probably have to reset, because they've overstayed their welcome. Here going to come through here from Adelaide Uni as they look to walk it back up now with the power in numbers. We'll see Demonic take out the first. Darkchild comes up here, as well as Adelaide Uni will stop the mission vehicle here towards the stairs.
Certainly will be able to stall it out at this point, so good to get in position for the stall there, but we're gonna stall out some KOs going both ways this time around. Darkchild coming online now from Demonic, looking to go Demonic in name and nature here. Let's see if they can slice their way through the strategist. There we go, Talisman's down, looking for more around the back as well. See if they can twist things up, and they may yet be able to, but feeling good, not good enough. Jay is out of here, so nice reset coming out from Adelaide University. Stall out a bit more time.
To shut it down for the moment. We'll see Omni-Man walk up though with Jeff Bubble, get the speed boost going. Flashing away, Silent Seduction coming through here. Rexy looking for a beautiful swallow onto 2. We'll take out the strategist here. It also has to spit out Juicy. Now needs to help their team out. Demonic did find that KO onto Omni-Man. This fight looks a little good for Adelaide Uni. We'll see Talisman though. We'll find a KO back. BRB Beacon brings Whiteboard immediately back into the fray. We'll see Juicy once again towards his backline. Being a menace, strangling prison out from Alice. Able to lock up the strategist, able to find Talisman. Eternal Bond comes through, but it is all the KOs going towards the side of Adelaide Uni. They will fight this fight backwards. They'll use the invisible boundary here, and it's not going to matter. That kidnap from Omni-Man in the last stand. Omni-Man at least able to make their presence be felt.
Yeah, they find one, but they're traded immediately there, and one in the same. Oblivious is down. This is good, but Darkchild's online now. Demonic. Opportunity is ample, and they amp up, finding KO after KO, you would think. But no, Omni-Man's back, sends them packing, and they may yet be able to find a KO of their own out of this, but not quite yet. Demonic slips through the cracks there. They're not looking to give up. An impact online from Vidal as well. This could be the time to activate, be the time to prime up, but it's the Psionic Seduction that pushes ahead. See it online in counteraction here, Tony, and it's all going down.
That Psionic Seduction doesn't really do a whole lot there. Great hit there to start it off. Vidal will be able to dodge out the jet time, looking for a reset. Also the strength of prison from Alice. Well, it's going to be locked up. Psionic Seduction here from Whiteboard. Going to lock up the members of QUC. We'll be able to find Omni-Man with the help of Alice. Demonic still chopping away towards the backside of things, chasing down with Alice. There's also QUC once again at the spawn. Adelaide Uni are holding it down right now.
Ooh, there's a change up though, Tony. Omni-Man has become the Moon Man with Moon Knight coming out right now. This could be actually really big to tear through that frontward presence here. We'll see. Hand of Khonshu. It's going to be enough to save them as they're already building up a ton of ultimate percentage here. Khonshu could be the saving grace. They got Eternal Bond online now as well. Talisman is changing up into the punishment, and here we go. Khonshu's coming out, clearing a bit of space here. Not going to be able to get any KOs from it, but they are creating distance between their opponents. There could be a chance for them out of this one, but not quite yet. Eternal Bond, though, coming online. Alice in a bit of trouble, but the BRB Beacon is going to bring them back. Cassia online, and now Darkchild. Cracking impact. All the aggressive ultimates are allowing them to rip their way through QUT. Piece by piece here. This is exactly what you need. A Penta KO to stop the show.
Absolutely huge hold there from Adelaide Uni, just holding it for so long towards the stairs. And I was going to say, it all really came down to the fact that they were able to walk it back. Half of those fights, Matt, that UC were really trying to force, Adelaide Uni just walked it back. They were like, all right, we'll just go take a little bit of space, dodge out the Jeff time, occasionally there from QUT, and Vidal as well being allowed this Winter Soldier, and it is feeling threatening to say the least. We'll see some change-ups here. QUT thinking about the Iron Man for a second there. Omni-Man gonna be sticking with the Moon Knight here, potentially going into this defense side. Adelaide, 4 minutes to push a whole 100 meters. It feels more than doable.
Yeah, I can definitely see something on the horizon here, Tony. I think that there's definitely possibilities. You know, playing in with the Moon Knight and the Punisher there, they can hold things down, but we'll see if that's going to be a reality, considering how aggressive, you know, Adelaide was able to play on their defensive side. Now looking to bring that kind of energy into their attack as well. Let's see how things go. Heading into the rest of this one. They are going to be sticking it out and going to give it their best. Into the game right now. The barriers are down and it's time to pump it up into action and getting closer and closer to the mission area by the second tier, but no one is able to find the opening KO yet.
And no crazy Moon Knight ripples off of the walkout. We'll see Talisman up on the high ground here with Turret just picking out a ton of damage there. Alice a little bit too far forward. Demonic though, at least able to trade it back. This means that Adelaide Uni are still able to walk it up with Whiteboard here, playing that frontline presence with the Emma. We'll see Talisman get chokeslam there, I believe, for just a second, but Donners and Omni-Man are able to combine for a few KOs. Talisman gets involved, and Omni-Man will be able to pick up the Khonshu now. So, Adelaide Uni, they have to be on guard.
Certainly do, otherwise they are going to be fed to Khonshu, and they certainly do not want to have that occur, otherwise they're in big trouble. See how things go. Juicy already just be a living century there, you know, gather a bit of information with their team. And here we go. Got you coming out on the back line. They found Oblivious. Good KO onto the strategist there, and they're now looking to clear them out, space them between each other. Juicy diverting the focus as well. This is going to be good for the defensive capabilities here. Adelaide Uni is trying to regroup, fall back for a second before they try and launch their own counterattack here. See if they are going to find success.
That was, you know, not the craziest of countries, but it did its job right, Matt. All you really needed is one KO onto one of the strategists, and Adelaide Uni was a lost push from there. We'll see now. Eternal Bond out of Oblivious. They'll walk it up. We'll see, though, the final judgment coming through here from Talisman, trying to soften up those KOs. Brings it straight to Prison, into the Kraken impact, into an immediate double reset here from Vidal, making it a triple. Looking for Juicy Sue, softened up by the rest of the team. Juicy still floating around. Reset comes from Vidal. It will be a quadra.
My goodness, Kraken impact making a statement, making waves here, Tony. But it's portal time right at the last stretch here. They're going to be able to stop them when it counts, utilizing the Eternal Bond into the Psionic Seduction. Darkchild still online for now, but it's Demonic who's slicing through them. It doesn't matter that QUT is online. They are getting ripped apart here. Now we convert to the convoy section. My goodness, Tony.
That was a valiant attempt there. I was going to say Vidal as well was stalling out that Kraken impact for that portal to come through. The QUT, they're not able to get back on and stop that cap. Now the push comes through. We'll see Juicy swap to Magneto. Psionic Seduction available for Whiteboard. We'll see Demonic just kind of poking and prodding here, trying to take out that Moon Knight early. Find an early KO, but it's Vidal going to be picking it up. And now Psionic Seduction across every member of QUT, but he's looking for the weaker of the targets. The strategists, the duelists here are getting picked off. Whiteboard will be chasing down with the help of Demonic, and that will be the cart. The mission vehicle will continue to push, and I don't imagine QUT are able to stop it. They're not able to touch. It will be another map on the board here for Adelaide Uni.
My goodness, can you believe what we are witnessing, Mr. Tony? They have managed to bring it all the way back. So, huge stuff coming out there for Adelaide Uni. And Demonic locking down the MVP on the Magic. what magical play we saw from them. That is for sure. And that's going to lock down second map for them. And you know what that means? Series point. They win one more to TwoTapTony. They will be our champion.
Yeah, as we take a look at the score lines real quick. 41-2 from Demonic. I was going to say, I call back to what I said in the picks and bans, right? It was like, yeah, the Magic didn't really quite hit its mark. It definitely hit its mark this time around. Very well played from Adelaide Uni, showing, you know, they may have taken away the Panther, they may have taken away the Iron Fist there from the side of QUT, and it might have just did them an absolute service here. I was going to say for QUT, Omni-Man felt like, you know, he got the SVP, but it didn't feel like the impact was felt as much as it did as soon as he came in that last map. But I was going to say QUT overall, you know, now they're on the back foot. They have to adapt here. I was going to say Adelaide Uni were just in this situation. It's all to answer QUT. What do they go for here? Do we take away Vidal's Winter Soldier, or do we take away the Magic? I feel like both of those are definitely high prio bans here for QUT right now.
High prio bans, and we're going to see exactly what those look like once we get prepped in to the next draft phase, Tony. But before we get there, we are going to end up preparing for battle and see what map 3 could look like, because it's time to build map 4 more, rather.
Yeah.
Map 4 is going to look like. It's just, you know, just so crazy. Map 3 there. And honestly, excited to see how map 4 looks as well, as we got lots of potential on its way through, Tone. And it's going to be more where that came from once our teams are prepped up and good to go into this next portion, once the time stream gets ignited once again. But, you know, Tony, I'm eager to see what this next draft phase looks like, because the last one was just pure chaos.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, QUT might have wanted a reality erasure onto that one, if you say the least there. But, yeah, I don't know what to think about that. And I think this next one is going to be no different. Here we go.
Yeah. Well, Whiteboard might be able to hear you hovering the Scarlet for a moment. I don't imagine that will come through. Silo getting taken away there by the side of QT. Lunar Snow, once again, being a pretty high prio takeaway here. Don't want to allow Jay onto that one. Omni-Man hovering the Black Panther. Iron Fist going to be locked in there. They want that one for Omni-Man. If, you know, given the opportunity, he'll run with it. Curious to see what Adelaide decided to ban Emma Frost. I imagine ban and lock. I was going to say Emma Frost was pretty good for them. Donna's had a lot of impact on the Psionic Seductions, I was going to say, in some of those fights. But unfortunately for QUT, weren't quite able to win those out. So, yeah, lock potentially to Emma. I don't imagine there's a lot of other priority here for Adelaide. I was going to say, yeah, Emma going to be locked in immediately here. QUT, what other bands do they bring here to the table, Matt?
Well, glad you asked, Tony. They're going to be bringing out a band right now.
Magic.
And it is going to be, correct, Magic coming out there. That's a targeted ban towards Demonic with utmost certainty. So, curious to see how things will go, as we have 2 more on the table. Ooh, okay, more targeted bans. It's going to be a Groot taken away this time, and a Cloak will be stolen away in a kind. So, we do have the return of the Iron Fist at least for Omni-Man here, so they've got access to that at a minimum, but we'll see how things go heading in to next protect or next save. It's going to be Bucky, and Bucky has been just absolutely insane for Vidal all series long, Tony.
Yeah, I was going to say I spoke about it. You know, I wanted to see bans towards Vidal and ban towards Demonic. They did identify that Demonic's magic was a little bit of an issue, but I also felt like it was Alice with the Groot that really helped Demonic set up, you know, cutting off the sight lines, really isolating those fights for Demonic to really run it through. But Winter Soldier going to be locked there for Adelaide. As you said, you know, that's a good one to keep up for Vidal. We're going to be seeing Magneto ban and lock here for QUC for the final stage of their bans, and then BP be taken away by Omni-Man. So, you know,
The right heroes
Iron
can
Fist
make
is up.
all the difference.
Omni-Man's going to lock that one in. Talisman straight to the Winter Soldier. Whiteboard going to be going back towards the Strange because the Emma got taken away. Demonic. Thinking about bringing the Hella into the play of all things.
Yeah, I can respect it. You know, obviously, I mean, they've got access to team up if they want it. If they want it. I don't think they're going to use it though. But
Yeah,
that's okay.
Yeah, I was going to say an interesting thing to juxtapose what we saw from our last series was a lot of prior towards that Hella Namor team up. This one, we're not quite seeing that.
Yeah, at all. It's kind of crazy to see, I guess,
We'll
the
be coming in 30 seconds.
lack of presence
Stay
from that.
strong.
But the fact of the matter is, they have access to it if they want it. So at least that's something that they can, I guess, prioritize. But considering we do have Vidal's Bucky out, I'd probably expect that they won't be looking in that direction, considering the impacts they are able to make on the Bucky here. But we'll see how things go heading into this one, as we've got plenty of ways to get our way into fruition. And let's see if Jack is going to be spraying those heals all over the mission area.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jeff's a pick that's come very far in terms of the meta at the moment. You know, normally we've seen a lot of Venom paired with that one, and Juicy has been playing that one so far. So Rexy was more than happy to play the Jeff with the Venom. But under fire there, the captain here, this time from Juicy, trying to get in towards the back line. Omni-Man, though, able to find a quick KO of their own here. As we'll see push that mission vehicle forward. We'll see Omni-Man unleashed here. Maybe they need to bring the Namor out if Omni-Man's able to do this for free.
That's it. Omni-Man back on top here on 2. The Iron Fist in. Gonna see if they can achieve more where that came from, Tony. It's just a very chaotic map so far, you know, but in saying that, chaotic fan and save phases across the last 2, so curious to see how the rest of this one will go now, as Omni-Man looks to take a point on 2. The opposing vanguards there, as they are going to be immediately targeted down. So, little counter-offensive coming through from Adelaide here, trying to force their way back. See if they can zone out the opposing Magneto, but to be able to shut down Goners. They will find the Talisman though, and going to use the activation of the Seer to clear even more space for themselves.
Yeah, I feel like that's how this fight has gone. Omni-Man is really a lot of the frontline presence cracking. In fact, might have been a fat finger. I don't know what happened there, but unfortunately that ultimate really doesn't have its success here. We'll see Psionic Seduction out of Alice though, trying to draw them out of the invisible boundary. Smart little readjustment. We'll see Jeff try to come through, able to swallow up a teammate. That is actually going to be Omni-Man taking out of the and Alice will chase down Rexy for that one.
And then they will be taken out by Omni-Man. So, very chaotic approach here. Freedom Charge coming out from Juicy. Alice has gone down, and they're looking for more where that came from. Bouncing the shield, yielding KOs, and forcing them all the way back to the spawn point here, Tony. They're going to be body blocking it for that matter. So, really allowing their team a bit more flexibility to just push that mission vehicle, and I respect it, you know, command territory and you will earn it, but I don't know if they're going to be able to get it over to the backline necessarily. Living Chi coming out though, trying to open the gates, and Oblivious already going down there, trying their best to utilize the Bionic Hook. Omni-Man is still going to be online, still kicking up a storm. Yeah, will slow down eventually.
Yeah, they will slow down, but that's Talisman's opportunity now. Speed up, it is a triple KO there with the Kraken impact, walking through with the help of Juicy on this Captain America clearing path for Talisman to just free fire away. Omni-Man as well, able to chase one more down here. The KO comes through, picked up by Talisman. The Adelaide Union now in a world of hurt. There's already 2 points capped here, 4 minutes on the clock. They're not letting up. Juicy's found another KO.
Another one on board there. They are going to be happy to have so much freedom playing in at the Captain America here. But looks like Whiteboard is going to be looking to clear the way with the thing. So I think if that is going to find its heyday here. Slow things down. Try their best to keep themselves online as long as possible here. Speaking of a cracking impact from Demone, back into it right now. See you online as well. There's the damage. Get the reset onto the ultimate there. So we can find more with it, and there you go, jumping into the ticker. Not going to be able to get the KO though, that's the kicker, and they will find Omni-Man in the end, however, so you can see if they can find more ground through, but it looks like they're not going to let up. Adelaide forcing the issue quite a bit. They will hold off at the trophy.
Yeah, they're going to have to get back. I was going to say, QUT, their spawns on top. They'll be back up and ready to fight this next one. Bombing time's available here for Whiteboard and needs to use it. Living Chi coming through with a freedom charge of all things. Omni-Man now towards the back, towards the front. The Eternal Bond is keeping everybody up from Adelaide Uni. They now need to get out of there. Clobbering time still available here for Whiteboard. See Jeff time available as well for Rex. He has swallowed up Alice for the moment, so Alice taking out the fight. Clobbering time going to be turned away here. It's going to go towards the backside of things, where all of the dive, all of the fights are happening. Cracking impact back to Talisman, looking for resets. Go all here. It's a Penta KO here for Talisman.
Oh my goodness. They are shielding off the exit doors at the spawn point there. Trying their best to get back online. Oh, they try the charge, but they can't barge ahead, Tony. And QUT push it through with 2.5 minutes to go there. What a way to get it done. Can you believe it? It's just the power of the Buckies. And it's just super duper great.
Yeah, it's good to see Talisman now really step up. I was going to say Talisman been a little bit quiet overall from the side of QUT. You know, once we saw Omni-Man come into the mix, it was really all about him. And Daredevil now being thought about here for Omni-Man. QUT, they've got some time to play with. But ooh, here we see Namor here for Demonic. We might see the Namor Hella this time around, Matt.
We certainly could see something of that nature. Mr. Tony?
Ooh.
See the... Oh, here we go, Tony. This is first here on this broadcast, and I'm very excited to see how things will fare. Will we be seeing the Krakens of the Abyss? The undead squids coming online here. Very eager to see how that will... And it's back! It's so back!
You're invaded. Alice faking it out there for a second.
Love to see it. Oh well. See how it goes, Tony. Jump into it. Squids already are going to come online here, and let's see if they are going to be getting the KOs through onto their enemies. Or they may meet another demise as they push up. Eyes on the prize. What? There you go. Spear through. Vidal pulls it ahead onto Omni-Man. A good traded KO onto Alice, though. And let's see where this one will flow, Tone.
And that's why I wanted to see the Namor, right? It's just such a hard counter to Omni-Man. As you saw, Squid, one good spear, and Omni-Man just kind of KO'd in the blink of an eye. We'll see Vidal thinking low here. We'll see Whiteboard trying to walk it up. Everybody being topped up by the strategist for the moment. Slowly but surely, LA Uni are taking space. They have secured the strategist though here with the Jeff time. And we'll see as well the gap get tossed on top of them. Oblivious trying to get out, but Adelaide Uni are sent packing for the moment. Big duck as well from Talisman. The KOs are picked up, and time gets a little bit further down on the clock here for Adelaide Uni.
Yeah, they are able to, I guess, stall out a bit of time here, so great to see the defensive capabilities shining through, but still need to push the mission vehicle that much further here. Horn of Proteus is available, but looks like it is going to be activated there into the Eternal Bond as well, and they're picking up the KOs now, looking to spell trouble from downtown. see if they can pull up it. Someone was stalling out the mission vehicle for a second longer there. I saw that. See if they are going to be able to do that all over again. Push it up now. You see an Omni-Man. Oh, the Juicy's going to be cheeky. I can just sense it, Tony. Look at this.
Walking around, trying to stall that mission vehicle. The cab's coming through. Bonus actually out Demonic now going to be trying to lock up these crucial targets. But of course, that invisible boundary is keeping everybody healthy. Juicy now. Once Death comes out with the Eye of Agamotto, as they're trying to find these snipes here, but no KOs are coming on the side of Adelaide Uni. They're all coming from QUC. Still hide away from the guys to Death is dished out. It's quite a lot there, but Al's looking to get some squids through, trying to get this damage across here on towards the front line. The Freedom Charge into the Living Chi. We'll see QUC fly back here for the fight.
Did a fly back for the fight, not ready to say goodnight. And see if they are going to be able to get some more over the top here, Tony, as they are going to be on the ball, on top, and ready to put this attack to a stop.
A minute left. Adelaide Uni trying out something of an attack right now. Juicy. Popped up by the strategist. Omni-Man. Top of things. Trying to just really work it overtime. It would feel matters. We'll see Hornet Proteus come out from Vidal as they'll walk it up. They'll snipe out Donna's there. That's a crucial target to take away. We'll see Kraken Impact come through from Talisman. Return one of Oblivious to try and get them further forward. Alice will be able to secure the KO on the Talisman. Now they have all the room to walk up with the squids. We'll see Rexy fall. It's a double from Alice. They have to still deal with Juicy though towards the backside of things. UT as well will have the portal here from Donna's to get back on towards this mission vehicle.
That they will, and they're going to spill onto the mission vehicle, ready with the invisible boundary coming up. Yeah, and it's looking to knock it down. A QUD. But never fear, another invisible boundary is here from a J this time to try and keep their team online as long as they possibly can here. Fighting on, fighting strong. It's Omni-Man and Rexy countering back, looking to shut down the opposing. Oh my goodness, it's just insane to see the focus fire on this one. They do have Living Chi available. Omni-Man is attacking again. Psionic Seduction catches them though in the fire. They can't ignite the way they like, but they will be able to get it in the end. Omni-Man will not stop. Do not fear. Omni-Man is here. And they shut down Alice on the Spider-Man. But just when you think it's over, they're back with the Strange.
With the Strange, and they're able to get on for just a second, but it was just the Strange, Matt. Vidal walked away a little bit from the mission vehicle to get that Hornet Proteus off, and it didn't come quick enough. You see, able to close it 3-0 there on Yggdrasil. Path and Matt, we've got a series on our hands. We've got a final map potentially now here. Omni-Man, another well-deserved MVP, a huge stall there, and 34 KOs, only 3 KOs taken. Absolute huge performance out of Omni-Man. QC, as I, wanted to see a strong bounce back, and, well, they're able to do it.
That's it, Mr. Tony. Able to do it, able to pull through. Just insane stuff to see into this one, Tony. And just like that, we're going to a map 5. It's the decider here and now to see which of these teams will be able to claim their spot as champion. And we're going to find out exactly how that's going to go right after this break. Welcome back, everyone, to AEL here with Marvel Rivals, Matsy and TwoTapTony coming at you with the final map here for our grand final between Adelaide University and UUT. Both teams have taken 2 maps each, and it's down to one final map here, the 5th, the decider. And Tony, I can't wait to see who can take this out. But before we go into that, Tony, before we go into the Empire of Eternal Night, we have to say that there is a substitution. Dahl is out and Serax is in.
That is interesting because, you know, we were speaking about it during the break. Vidal had a lot of impact, so now, you know, it's going to be up to Serax really to come through with their best foot forward going into this final one here on Central Park. Because for QUT, they have all of the momentum now in their favor. And, you know, Adelaide Uni, you know, one miscomm, one bad call here in the vetoes, and it could be all over for them. As we look at what we'll see immediately, going to be taking away the Iron Fist. Very smart call here, Adelaide Uni.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, Tony. Considering the impact that had, they don't want to deal with that at all. And yep, they are going to be wholeheartedly target banning Omni-Man again. So, that is very unsurprising, considering the last time they did this, they found the utmost success. So, now it's just going to be a battle of priority bans and saves here, I suppose. And yeah, curious to see who gets the better end of the stick on this one.
Yeah, definitely interesting. I was going to say as well, the magic lock coming through from Demonic. Felt like, you know, wanted to bring that one back. UT, though, taking away the Strange, so the team-up's not there. Neither is the Portal play to kind of stabilize here. But we'll see Groot, at least. So Magic and Groot combo back online here for Adelaide Uni for this final one. Cloak being taken away by Adelaide Uni for the side of QUT. So, you know, a lot of interesting things. Probably Mag, Ban, and Lock here for QUT to round out their section of things. And for Adelaide Uni, what do we feel like the final ban will be? Oh, no.
It's going to be a save onto the Bucky this time, but for, yeah, Adelaide, it's going to be...
Yep. All right. Yeah. No, that's fair.
Yeah.
I should have expected that one.
Could make all
Yeah.
the difference.
Like I was saying, it's just a full anti-Omni-Man composition there. Like, they've left the Moon Knight open. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Talisman is still a ripper Bucky as well. Like, we saw some of that into the last map as well, you know? Huge stuff coming out from the Talisman there, but... Okay. They're giving it up to Omni-Man. We're going to see the Devil unleashed again, Tony. Okay.
Yeah, the Devil on the shoulder here for QUT. And we're getting faked out. Definitely going to be Moon Knight Omni-Man. And for the side of Adelaide Uni, Serax coming in means we get to see a thing for the Adelaide Uni side. And I was going to say, interesting to bring that one into fruition. We'll see Whiteboard as well. They're going to be running triple Vanguard, double Strategist with Demonic on the Magic. I was going to say a very kind of defensive composition. We've got Group Penny and the Thing. Probably the 3 most defensive Vanguards that aren't Magneto at this current moment.
And it makes sense playing into the defensive side, right? Because they can get a lot of defensive presence here. It definitely can have its chance here. But I think Omni-Man playing into Moon Knight is one of the perfect things, I'd say, to stretch through this. Because they build up that ult percentage very, very quickly. And yeah, as I say, yeah, the words put the words into action. And they are going to be rip and tearing their way through the defense. Oh my goodness, Tony. That was quick.
Yeah, that was immediate. I was going to say, just as we call to action the Moon Knight from Omni-Man, Adelaide Uni are going to be staggered out here on the KOs too. I was going to say, look how far forward Juicy Connors and everybody is playing, because the point has already been captured now. 5 minutes, almost 6 on the clock here for QUT as they start to make this push. And they're still finding these KOs, or at least softening these players up for the KOs. They found whiteboard there. Omni-Man with a snipe, able to pick it up, and continuing to put some pressure on.
Yeah, putting it on, putting it in, and ready to take this one for a spin time. We'll see. They are going to be able to zone them out here. Or whether there might be more in store where that came from as they hold on, hold steady. Look to open up the endeavor. It's going to be Strangling Prison coming out. Triple KO, and jumping in is Omni-Man as well. So, spelling trouble for Adelaide Uni here. And they have such a clean... Oh, that isolation was huge. Oh my goodness, Tony.
Yeah, absolutely great block there. Omni-Man following up with the double. QT. That's another push going still. It hasn't let up. This is literally the same push as the start of their campaign here on this attack side. We'll see another KO here from Talisman. 6 minutes. This is, I believe, the first time I've seen 6 whole minutes. This is the most dominant attack side we've seen so far in this series. And QUC, we've just got Jay. We'll be pushing that one through. Sending forward a few Loki clones, try to keep everybody healthy. We'll trade out with Rexy. And we'll see Konshu once again here from Omni-Man. Doesn't quite find his mark this time around.
Battlefield medicine. Yeah, not this time, but at least it does allow their team to continue to gain space. But speaking of space, it's going to be Darkchild online from Demonic here, trying to get space of their own, zoning it in with the Kraken impact there. Atlas trying to get the shots over the top, not going to be able to manage it. Omni-Man shuts them down, Sonic Seduction, going to be activated for Donut as well. Spelling trouble, got a mischief from Jay though. Hello, giving out the fate of both worlds there to keep their team online. They outlive the invisible boundary and will outlive also the Feast of the Abyss. Speaking of though, Oblivious bringing out their own fate of both worlds. It's going to be God of Thunder coming out also. So Adelaide Uni, they stall their time and they prime up and getting KOs for days.
Yeah, that is a necessary fight to win there for Adelaide Uni. QUC, you're just like, alright, this just might be a clean sweep. They might just get 3 points for free just like that, unless Adelaide Uni makes some adaptations. We saw Syrups go to the Thor. We saw Oblivious bring out Luna. There's Demonic. It's actually going to be, as well, Alex swapping over to the Puckfield ball thing. So, this is going to be interesting. QUC, though, they do have the Konshu available here for Omni-Man, and look at him walk. Very threatening presence, and Omni-Man is going to be right now. Nobody's looking this direction either, so Omni-Man will dish out the arc, dishing out a ton of damage there, softening up for those KOs. Talisman was able to find Serex. That has sent Adelaide Uni packing, while the rest of the KOs come through from the front end of things. It's QUC once again able to push.
Pushing it as far as they possibly can here, and they are priming up the damage time and time again, Tony. Omni-Man ready and waiting. There's another Konshu, is there? Oh, there it is. Oh my goodness! It's just pain! And they managed to drain through 3 points immediately, Tony. Holy moly.
Including which side you're on.
3 points, 3 minutes. 46 seconds from QUT. And, well, Adelaide, what do you do right now? That was just absolute obliteration here. And now we're seeing some cheeky little swap-ups here from QUT. Juicy to the Spider-Man, potentially. Daredevil from Talisman. He's been hovering that one so far. They're going to put Omni-Man on the Vanguard this time around. So, you know, QUT, dominant push. Shake some things up.
Ooh. Juicy on the Spider-Man. I sense some devious plans in motion here, Tone. They're going to try and pull them off the map.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say, especially on the defense side, you can just kind of rip someone off the left-hand side as they're able to go for a push.
Here we go.
We can pull. Yeah, I was gonna say, as long as they're like walking the direction Juicy expects, I imagine it's gonna be a pretty easy pull. Especially with Omni-Man as well, you can knock them up with the jump down from that roof from Omni-Man. So this is, I was gonna say, just all comes down to the mechanical execution here from PvT.
See, oh, and they have messed it up this time. So to get the early KO, but at least they gave it a crack. Omni-Man ready. Gonna bump up the damage around the back there, focus up on the strategist, but it might not be enough. Well, I speak too soon. It is certainly going to be more than enough. Now going to be able to get through this fight, but not unscathed as they will fight back. Ooh, good pick up on the health back there. Gonna be a shutdown though. So, Talisman Molly just gonna be piped up, focused onto their duelist. Goodbye, farewell, and spell trouble for many more. They're relegating them to their spawn point right now. This is impressive work coming out up front.
This is some bullying from QUT. I mean, they have all the confidence to play with, all the time to play with too, but Oblivious, let's take out Omni-Man a little bit too far forward. As well, not going to be brought back by the BRB beacon, so QUT a little bit less healthy in numbers, but they're still trying to fight this fight right now. Juicy flying through air, trying to take out a strategist, not quite able to do so. So this is going to be up to the rest of QUT, the backline of all things, the Penny to try and hold it down.
Hold it down, hold it in, and let's take this one for a spin. Tone as they're getting a lot closer to the mission area now. Looking to see if they can capture more over the top here. Cracking in back, invisible boundary, got us death. Everything's coming online. It's going to be the spider sweep coming out though, but it's all going to be nullified. Amazing stuff coming through from Adelaide Uni there. Managed to activate when it counted, and it will be exactly what they're after.
Able to tap immediately. Change up here from QUC's roster. Omni-Man now going to be back to the Moon Knight. In with the solo Vanguard here, we can see Donna's still in the Frost. Looking for Demonic here. I was going to say, nice little choke slam there potentially to isolate this KO. Demonic's a little bit too far forward. Quick KO coming through. Rex here able to find, I was going to say, a few more than you expect from your strategist. Talisman still on towards the mission vehicle. And being just a frontward presence here, I was going to say, kind of playing the Daredevil like a pseudo Vanguard. Omni-Man will be able to snipe out another KO. QUC able to stall out this push for the moment.
Get that vehicle moving again.
Stall it out for now, but there's more where that came from. TwoTapTony, and let's see what else is going to be around the corner here as the spectacular spin does pick up one KO, but it's not going to be good for more. So we'll see the Eternal Bond into the Seer on both sides there. So just to see how they collide into this one. Jake keep up the damage for their team. Ooh, Strangling Prison, Fate of Both Worlds activated. It's time. Let the devil out, and the Talisman will play into it with the Hand of Conjure. Damage is coming in droves right now, and they are zoning them out, keeping them packing away. And what a way to save the day here for QUT.
Yeah, I like that adaptation out of QUT, right? You know, Omni-Man, it didn't feel like the Venom was doing a whole lot for the moment. So swap up to the Moon Knight, get all of that AOE damage out with the con shoot. See now Adelaide Uni walk out of spawn, immediate 1-0 from Omni-Man. That's on the AEST, that's onto the guy that had the Kraken impact. Wanted to see that ultimate be used. Oblivious is able to trade it back though on the Talisman. Still, that Arc is dishing out so much damage across the back line here. Omni-Man quite low, needs to fall back now because you can see a little bit less healthier in numbers.
A little bit less healthier there, but yes, able to find something more. Well, maybe not. It's going to be Omni-Man taken down, taken out. Does allow them a lot more upward presence here. They're focused up on the strategists. They won't be able to shut them down as yet, so nice to see QUT keeping it up front for now. And oh, here we go. Hulk Smash coming online, playing into the Strangling Prison there, into the Kraken impact, and Alice, immediate triple down there. Huge KO over the top, and looking for more around the side there, looking to collide. It ain't gonna happen though. Juicy with a spectacular spin there. Does get at least a couple. It's not enough to keep them on. Donna's last a moment teleport. It ain't gonna work, so they're gonna just look to concede that one, move on to the new spawn room, and try again.
Yeah, unfortunately that strange portal just slightest bit late here on for QUT now. It's hard to wonder, Matt. You know, triple duelist Position isn't really paying off all too much. We're not seeing as much as we probably would have liked to see. Daredevil here for Talisman. That can sets them through the wall. We'll see. Adelaide Uni, they've got ultimates up. We've got Eternal Bond. We've got as well Invisible Boundary. Goddess of Death, Sarix as well. Triple Hulk ult. Flying through there for the moment. Sear's going to be used here for Jay. And immediately answered by the Invisible Boundary, so nobody's really under fire for the moment. That Sear for free. Demonic able to take out a KO on the Talisman. BRB Beacon. Goddess of Death coming out there. Trying to find Juicy as he pulls off Demonic. The environmental KO. Donna's up in the fray.
I am ready to
Quite
put on
low,
a show.
but fate of both worlds will keep everybody healthy. And here comes Talisman from the back.
Here they go. They've got the Devil online as well if they want to use it. Yes. Hold back for the moment. Hulk Smash online. It's time. Here we go. Gonna see Gotcha! Quad KO immediately! Oh my goodness, Omni-Man! What a way to destroy the attacking presence within a second.
That's the power of the Moon Knight, baby, deleting Adelaide Uni from that push. And I was gonna say as well, trapping them in with the help of Juicy. Oblivious now will try to chase down Omni-Man, who's a little bit too far forward. Adelaide Uni, they've got a minute and a half left to play with here to try and get this final capture here to keep this grand final going. And we'll see QUT really start to bunker down. We'll see Jay play as far away as possible. We'll see Strangling Prison out here from Demonic into the Kraken Impact, but this doesn't quite hit its mark this time around. Strangling Prison back to Juicy. It's going to be the Kraken Impact coming across there. Alice able to get a reset here, looking for a little bit more. Fighting straight towards the back, looking for a triple KO here. Donna's now low and under fire. Quadra KO for Alice. As well see Adelaide round out for one more push. And we'll need to see QT scramble back to the point.
They are certainly trying their best to do just that. Fighting from the back, Omni-Man's down. Alice still online with the Kraken impacts. They just keep going. Can't stop, won't stop. And they're so back. Using the clones. But what a mischief coming online. Eternal Bond here. It's going to be the fate of both worlds coming out from Jay into this one. Trying their best to use those strategist ultimates. But here we go. It's the Goddess of Death coming out right now. Oh, the timing is just incredible. Oblivious is sending them into oblivion. And that will be that. It's time for the OT segment, Tony.
Yeah, absolutely felt it was necessary. Adelaide Uni still had one final fight in them. Minute on the clock to QUT's 4. And what a play there to finalize that push. I was gonna say, just when we thought it was a big hold from QUT, it was the Khonshu from Omni-Man, it was the Juicy follow-up. But Adelaide Uni, they came back in a big way. The staggers out there from the Kraken Impact were vital in keeping that alive there for Adelaide Uni. We'll see QUT not really change all too much. We'll see Jay back onto the Loki. And we'll see once again Oblivious, Alice, Winter Soldier, and Hella for this one.
30 seconds before you attack.
Just play into their strengths once again here, Tony. Seeing some great amount of potential coming out from these rosters here, but key thing right now, Tone, time difference. Adelaide are going to have to play the attack of their lives here. It is going to be a make or break into this one. Neck and neck. We'll see if they are going to be able to activate and find their true potential here into this one, or whether UT will be able to hold them back as they already look to strike first. Build up that percentage nice and early here for Omni-Man.
You saw as well Adelaide being pretty vigilant in that clearance as they walked out of the spawn region. I'm sure they're not going to be aggressively flung off the map by a Juicy Spider-Man, Omni-Man. On the fire, Sarix needs to walk it back a little bit because Talisman's here to help him. Brute Wall does stop them from walking up for the moment. Talisman looking for that first KO though, will be able to pick up Sarix. Tries to break the Brute Wall as well, trying to find Demonic. Rollins with almost Charge there, almost full charge, I was going to say, for just a second. Let's charge it back up once again. I have found Omni-Man though. Juicy is able to trade it back at least, so both KOs going back and forth. Here's the point push. Now tries to come through here for Adelaide Uni.
We'll see if they are going to be able to make it right now. Whiteboard are bringing out the Eternal Bonds here. Holding on for dear life into this one. Got a Mischief coming online now as well. Jay bring them into the fray with the fate of both worlds into this one. Whiteboard's down. They're looking to push them back. Hulk has gone down to Bruce. And just like that, the round is let loose. We will see. Round reaches completion. Tony, this one is going to be a tough one.
The right heroes could make
4
all the
minutes
difference.
to hold here for Adelaide Uni. UT, one good push and they're on. And grand final champions, right? It's feels like a matter of time for them at the moment. For the side of Adelaide Uni, they're going to have to lock in. We're going to see Oblivious go to the Loki. I was going to say a very vital change up here on the side of Adelaide Uni. Loki really good at holding it down. QUT going to be changing up a few. So that is going to be a Black Widow out of Juicy.
Oh my. We've seen this before.
Yeah.
And we may yet see it
Time in
again.
30 seconds. Stay
This could be
strong.
really powerful. And I like the fact that they're playing into the Star-Lord as well, because it means that, well, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, never
But
mind.
I do like what they're bringing to the table here, though. I think they're playing into the triple duelist composition in prediction that they're going to be playing into triple Vanguard again, but they are going to be sorely mistaken. It's a triple strategist and the double Vanguard and the single duelist. But you know what? It might yet work out. It might yet work out, Tone, and we'll see how things go here. As Man has already gone for a sneak attack around the back, but it ran all the way back.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I believe he just misplaced the arm, so that really shuts that one down from becoming a reality. Juicy is going to be walled off there. That's the power of the Groot, right? And that's why I was like, oh, Black Widow, very interesting, because Demonic's been playing the Groot. It's pretty good at blocking off crucial snipes here. Bonner's walled off on towards the point at the moment. He's going to be flung up in air by Sarex, but will be taken out. That's a quick KO for Donners. As now QT will put their foot on the gas, and they will try to push it up here.
Push it up, push it down. Let's see how they drown him out. Juicy is down. So, decent start here. Jay's gone as well. Omni-Man has it a bare minimum. Oh my goodness! Been hooked back into the enemy team! Oh no! That is nasty stuff coming out from Adelaide here. And Alice is not stopping. Can't stop, won't stop. It's a successful hold this time.
That was a huge hook there from Alice. And, well, I was going to say, one thing that we haven't seen all too much of, I was going to say be a prevalent in the meta that was very annoying last time around was... Oh, Juice is going to be bringing out the torch for this one, swapping off with the Black Widow. I was going to say just kind of hard to use it to its full extent. We'll see Eternal Bond immediately have to be popped there. As Juicy was onto it. We'll see... seeing Peripheral Worlds copy here once again for Jake. Got shoot coming through for Omni-Man. Get on towards the point, cracking impact here from Malice. Trying to find its impact, but Meteor here for Dollars. Doesn't quite hit its mark. You see Fate of Both Worlds, into Fate of Both Worlds. It's two Fate of Both Worlds. But we'll see Alice cracking impact. Shut it down once again for the Quadra. Alice able to shut down once again. Another push from QT.
I cannot believe what we are witnessing here, Mr. Tony. Now zoning them out and honing in on their strengths here. UT need to give it their absolute best. Speaking of, they've found Whiteboard. Decent starter coming out there, and they are looking to see if they can capture anyone else around the back as well. They will. The torch is out. They're burning it up. Cracking impact misses its mark, but it don't matter. Juicy is here. Supernova and gonna be burning down the strategist here. My goodness, poor Oblivious. Good night, farewell, and QUT are your champion!
Absolutely huge game from QUT. Just when you thought, man, they're doing a little bit of trolling. We've got triple duels. What's going on? Juicy on the Black Widow, swaps over to the Torch. I believe Torch is what Juicy's kind of known for as well, a little bit, you know, around the ranked play. So I was going to say, going back to old Reliable to get QUT across the line. And yeah, 46 eliminations, 21 final hits from Juicy in there. And the KOs were good from as well. Omni-Man, I was going to say 41 KOs from them. 46 from Talisman. It was hard to fault any of the duelist players here from QUT. Connor's holding it up well on the front line. QUT, a well-deserved championship from them. They had to fight tooth and nail for that one. So Adelaide Uni, my props to them. They've got a little bit of swagger under their belt too.
Yeah, couldn't agree more, Tony. You know, there's a reason this series went all 5 maps. They locked it down, locked it in, and gave it their absolute best. Huge stuff coming out from our teams there. Wonderful work, and wonderful work from our sponsors as well, Tony. So first and foremost, a big shout out to AGON by AOC, the #1 gaming monitor brand in the world. AGON by AOC provide best-in-class monitor solutions for gaming and all other needs.
And of course, power up your game with the latest HyperX gear at Officeworks. Push performance to the limit with the latest in gaming tech. From high spec to precision gear, Officeworks has what you need.
That's it. Big shout out to them there. And a big shout out to Indomie, the noodle partner, made with high quality flour and selected ingredients and spices. A plate of Indomie mee goreng will certainly brighten up your day. Try any one of the flavors available today from your local grocer or at indomie.com.au. Big shout out to each and every one of our sponsors there. You know them, you love them, and we appreciate them with all their support. But speaking of support, make sure you check out AU Esports League on all of our social medias there, whether it be X, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, you name it, we are on it. Make sure you check us out to catch all the AEL action. But this has been Matsy, this has been TwoTapTony here with Marvel Rivals here today. Congratulations to our champions. Thank you so much for tuning in, each and every one of you. We know ya, we love ya, and we'll see ya in the next one.